If you were just listening a moment ago, right over the intro of the MJ Morning Show theme song and show open, I dropped in this little audio bite.
You are a pill-popping bitch.
But I forgot I had that. You know how many audio bites, Michelle and Fester, that I've got in the computer that we've used like once or so, and I've just forgotten about. I got to take an inventory. I've got just page after page after page of these great audio bites. Welcome, everybody. MJ Morning Show, MJ, Michelle, Fester. And, maybe we ought to do a show where I just go through all the pages of sound bites. Man,
Yes.
you and those stupid yellow glasses, man.
Dude, I'm telling you, this isn't a fad. This isn't something quick. This is a lifestyle now.
It's a dumb style is what it is.
Good look.
Yeah.
It alleviates the strain off of my eyes.
Yeah, if it's helping him, what are you mad about it for?
I don't
What a
know.
judger, dude.
You know,
What a
he
judger.
looks like Ali G. That's why with you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So he looks
Ali-
like a very successful entertainer sitting across from you.
If Ali G had a gland issue, I might. I don't have a yellow jumpsuit.
People are complaining that you're just too soft.
Okay, I'm not. And this
What?
microphone sucks.
Well,
if anything, I'm the loudest talker in the room.
Go to that mic
Are
over there.
you?
Go
No,
talk.
that's too far
Just
away.
go talk on that mic. Let me hear that
So,
one.
is there a bigger difference?
No, it's like you're like a soft talker all of a sudden.
No.
I'm not.
Go back to that mic. Go back to that mic. Go back to that
Okay,
mic.
thank you.
Maybe this just isn't the medium for me.
I don't know.
I
man.
mean, maybe that's the case.
Maybe,
Bester.
yeah.
If the mic, hold on a second. I'm taking Michelle's mic now.
All right, grab my
All
Michelle's.
right, so now I'm on Michelle's mic.
Yeah, that's a little louder.
Well, it's the equipment. It's not the guy who's been doing this for a reasonable amount of time.
I just don't know when we're getting into that new studio. It is such a comical joke at this point.
I work this microphone like it's my prom date. Okay,
Hold on. Go back to Michelle. Why are you giving me a look?
I just don't find that to be necessary.
What? Well, you don't find what to be necessary?
To rag on not getting in that studio.
Are you serious?
It's not funny.
Almost 5 years?
It's a serious issue.
Okay.
I think you just move on. It's not
You
entertaining.
want to talk about something really crazy?
Yeah, what?
Yes.
You are under this impression
Right.
that when this new studio is finally built
Right.
by elves or magic or leprechauns or
Munchkins.
whoever the hell's going to come and build this studio,
Yeah.
you are of the impression that it is going to be perfect.
Well, the
And all
studio,
problems will be resolved.
hold on a minute. The studio is like half built, and it's just, when somebody runs out of money when they're building a house,
And it just sits
and
there.
it just sits there?
Yeah, there's one a couple blocks away from me where it's
Yeah.
like blocked.
Yeah, there's one in my
Yeah.
There's one in my neighborhood. Actually, there are two slow-rolling builders in my neighborhood. I don't know if they have financial problems or what the hell the deal is, but there are two slow roller. And listen, I walk every day. I did a 3.2-mile walk last night. Walked right by both these houses. I'm like, my God! It's like, what are you guys doing? Oh, there was also a house that was demolished in my house. So there was a demolition job, a demolished house. And this is a house that, took, some pretty heavy flooding during Helene in my neighborhood where the older houses had, a lot of water. The older houses in Beach Park in South Tampa, the front door, is essentially on the ground. If you have 1 inch of like a concrete threshold,
That's it.
that might be a lot.
Right.
It might be less than an inch, where the front door is literally right on grade, right on the ground. And with 3.5 feet of water in the neighborhood, a lot of these folks got water inside. Some people mitigated. They ripped out the drywall. They repaired.
Okay, we get that, but we need a hurricane to roll through this studio so we can hire that slow roll builder to build our studio.
Well, hold on a minute. So there's also a demolition job. There's one of these houses, an old house that got flooded, and they knocked down the house. And I swear, this is like a 1,200 square foot house. It's not a very big house. It's still not demolished. This is like 3.5 weeks ago.
Just burned it down.
There's still junk. Oh, yeah. You know what? You're
All
good.
right, Fester.
You're good at that.
Dude, let me go.
Yeah.
Let me cook, baby. Let me do my thing.
Oh, man.
I'll take that thing down to cinders.
Yeah, Disney princess dresses, turkey fryer
fryers.
fires.
You betcha, man.
Well, what was the other joke that I made yesterday about you and There was something that came up on yesterday's show.
I don't remember.
Anyway, so in my neighborhood, we got these slow roller builders, and I'm like, maybe they're building my new studio as well. Anyway, Fester, so
bad.
Back to what you were saying. Listen, there'll be growing pains in the new studio, tweaking to get the microphone sounding right, to get, all of the equipment working. But we're not going to move right in the minute it's done. We're going to do, hours of tests in there and demos to make sure the phone systems are properly integrated.
Dude, you have not begun to bellyache. I mean, right now you're venting frustration about it not being built. Once it's built, you are going to be unrelenting on these guys because it's not going to be close to right.
Why are you such a negative Nelly over there? What? How do you mean it's not going to be close to right?
Have you seen talk to some of the other morning shows?
I know that the newer QIK studio that they've been, complaining for a while.
A year and a half. Okay. Oh, a while. Yes.
Yeah. I'll just walk out.
Okay.
I'll just leave. Michelle's pushing me to, close up shop anyway.
She's right.
Yeah, Michelle's pushing me to, retire.
I think be happy with the digs you have, buddy.
Oh,
yeah.
Just let it go.
Right. Well, these digs, this studio is obviously a dumpster fire, but this studio
It's functional.
It could break at any minute.
Well,
You
go.
The technology is on its last leg, and there's major concern that the brain that operates the control board, that it could die at any minute.
Well,
that's what makes it exciting.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
there you go.
Yeah.
It's like a Mission Impossible thing.
Like Daredevil radio.
Yeah.
It's like seat of your pants, Daredevil, Thrill Seeker radio.
Are we going to make it till the end of the show? Who knows?
yeah.
Yeah, MJ, as far as my voice sounding light, it's the equipment.
No, now you're projecting better.
It's the equipment.
No, you're projecting
I
better
always
now.
talk loudly. I don't talk like this the whole show. Oh, MJ, that was pretty
Anyway,
fun.
so hey, back
Can
to
you
my
play the ATM crotchety.
all right, back to my sound bites.
Please.
Yeah, I love this one.
You are a pill popping bitch.
You know where I got that?
Where?
That was from an episode of Cops. Two neighbors were getting into it, and hey, Meredith, can you come here real quick, Meredith? Give one second. Grab Mike too. All right. So the Florida Aquarium was supposed to bring in a penguin.
Yes, they're molting right now. They're really busy.
All right, closer, louder.
Hello.
Yeah. Our microphones suck.
Oh, they're molting right now.
No. Talk into the mic.
Oh, okay. They're
All right. So
molting.
wait a minute. So they were supposed to bring in a penguin like yesterday or today, and then suddenly the penguin molted.
Yeah, how rude, right?
Yeah.
How dare he?
All right. Now, the next thing instead of the penguin, the next thing they want to bring in is what?
Well, we had the option between a bird, like a hawk, or a sloth. And
Hold on.
obviously, we want the
why
sloth.
does the Florida Aquarium have a sloth?
Why not? It should be the
But it's an aquarium. A sloth is not an aquatic animal.
Sloths are cool.
I think for fun, they throw the sloth in the shark tank and then just see what happens.
No, stop
Is that
it.
not what happens? I don't know. I haven't been in a while.
I don't think that's part of their diet.
So now the Florida Aquarium wants to bring in a sloth
Yeah.
to replace the penguin that's molting.
So listen, we did have the option, and I decided for
Hold on.
everybody
What-
that I
what-
wanted the sloth because sloths are cool.
It was a sloth or what else?
I think it was a hawk or something.
Well, again.
I've seen all the hawks. The hawks are they're all right, but they're not as cool as a sloth.
Okay.
Again, when I think of the Florida Aquarium, I think of fish,
Yeah.
not sloths.
Do you want them to bring in a shark?
Yes.
That's fine with me.
In a
Listen,
bathtub.
I'm a
Right.
scuba diver. I've seen plenty and plenty of, yeah.
Does the Florida Aquarium have two penguins?
By the way, that is a hawk noise right there.
They have. Ooh.
Yeah, a lot of people use that as like an eagle.
Yeah.
And this is being used in all kinds of commercials these days. This sound, I think I saw a Sonic commercial or a Checkers commercial where,
Would we know the difference?
yeah. Anyway, that is a red-tailed hawk.
Okay.
That folks try to use that as an eagle noise. But, all right, sloth will be in when?
It should be June 3rd,
All right.
right? Yeah, June 3rd.
Well, it's going to be very slow. The sloth
Yeah.
is walking
Yes.
from Channel Side.
Yeah.
The sloth will be here. Actually, it'll be December. First week of December, the sloth has left, and the sloth is walking from Channel Side, downtown Tampa, all the way here.
Are you shading the sloth? What would you prefer?
I mean,
We wanted a penguin, but I mean, they're losing their coats right now. It's summertime.
They could bring a molting penguin, can't
No, it'll make a huge mess everywhere.
I'm still amazed that an aquarium has a sloth. I mean, why not bring a tiger? Do they have a tiger?
Maybe they're renting it. You know, a lot of the aquariums and zoos, they rent.
They trade.
Yeah, they trade.
They trade, yeah.
Thank you,
That's
Meredith.
it. All right.
You're the best, Meredith.
Okay.
We love you.
Meredith, middays 10 to 3 here on Q. I'm sorry, what did you say? I turned your mic off already.
You keep putting my mic on for a second.
You were walking away.
Yes, everybody, I'm on Q 105.
All right, so
Thank
Meredith, 10 to 3 today, right after the MJ Morning Show. 6:11, just getting rolling on a Wednesday. Busy show today. Don't move. Traffic's on. We're back in minutes.
Good morning. Traffic looks good.
MJ Morning Show. MJ, Fester, Michelle, here on a Wednesday. Hey, you sent me one of those Reddit, am I the bleep holes?
Yeah.
Can you, I saw it. It's just a long blurb. I want to get to it later on because I did find it interesting, but can you give me like a 30-second treatment? Give me a 30-second description of what it's about.
If I remember correctly, it's about a relationship that the father is in. He's like married to his new wife.
Yep.
And his new wife is his ex-wife's best friend. And the kid in the relationship, instead of respecting her and treating her like the new stepmom, he treats her like the homewrecker that she allegedly is.
Right. All right.
And it's just and it is like, am I the bleep for always being rude to my stepmom and always reminding her that we're in this situation because of her and she ruined our home and she's a homewrecker and there's no peace in this new house.
Interesting story, interesting debate. I will try to squeeze that in later on here on the MJ Morning Show. We were mentioning the Florida Aquarium, which, by the way, I saw something recently that they were named one of the top 5 aquariums in the country. Yeah, right? Right, Michelle?
Yeah, I saw the same story.
Yeah, so congratulations to the Florida Aquarium for that. Yeah, go ahead and Yeah, Florida Aquarium
ranks number 8 nationally.
So maybe it was. Hold on a minute. Go back. Go back. Hold on. I thought it was top 5 or something. One of the best for the 5th straight year. That's why.
Okay.
All right. Florida Aquarium named one of the best in the United States for the 5th year in a row. The Florida Aquarium is number 8 nationally. And if you were listening to the show open, we brought up the aquarium because they were supposed to bring in a penguin to the various morning shows in the building, but they canceled the penguin because the penguin is molting. So instead, next week, they're bringing in a sloth. And I'm just curious, why the hell does an aquarium have a sloth? Can you bring in an elephant?
Shouldn't they have like a portable 200-gallon tank, like on wheels, that they can like roll into places?
I don't know. Anyway, so I'm looking forward to whatever the Florida Aquarium wants to bring in. However, this brings up some other animal issues of, varying interest that have popped up in the last, couple of days. I had a dozen people say, MJ, did you hear about the giant manta ray off of the coast in Pinellas that swimmers were underneath? And I'm like, yes, I did. And don't you wish that you had seen the manta ray? Absolutely. However, as a scuba diver, and I've traveled the world, I was just in the Philippines in March for 2+ weeks. I've seen a good deal of manta rays. My first manta ray that I saw was a place called the German Channel in Palau. Oh. So I saw that back in the late 90s. So I've seen manta rays in the Philippines. I've seen manta rays in the Maldives. I've seen manta rays in Indonesia, Raja Ampat. So I've had quite an array of experiences with manta rays.
An array with manta rays.
You like that? I've had quite an array of manta rays in my scuba diving career. But here's the deal. A paddle boarder, and a ton of people, I'm telling you, a dozen at least, sent me this story. And thank you, because a lot of listeners know I'm an avid scuba diver. A paddle boarder was off the coast of Pinellas. I guess, was this off of Dunedin? And this just happened a couple of days ago, or the story came out a couple of days ago, but it happened like mid-month. I don't know why the delay in the story coming out, and I didn't even see the story from a local channel. I saw it from like a South Florida TV station had the story that a paddleboarder was off of Dunedin and was near Honeymoon Island, and the paddleboarder suddenly saw a massive manta ray underneath them. Yeah, Honeymoon Island. And drone footage. That's what it was. A drone overhead caught it, and it's phenomenal. And I'll tell you right now that manta rays are incredible. They are humongous. And I've seen, manta rays of varying sizes. But I've seen one the size of, like twice the size of an average garage. I mean, I've seen some giant freaking manta rays. Anyway, so thanks to everyone that sent me the story.
Are they protected? Like manatees? Like you can't, poke a manta ray?
Well, I think that, I want to say that manatees have a greater degree of federal protection than a manta ray, but I could be wrong.
Are they good eating?
Oh.
Wasn't there a story that wasn't there a story that somebody was serving like stingray wing in place of scallops?
Yeah. That was a while ago that they'll take like a cookie cutter, and they'll get like regular stingray cartilage and try to pass it off as like scallops. Yeah,
I mean, if a stingray can pass for a delicious scallop, imagine how good a manta ray is.
A woman was screaming for help. Another Florida beach story. This is over in Broward. A woman was taken to the hospital yesterday, and she emerged from the water bleeding heavily. Profuse bleeding, according to the Pompano Beach Fire Rescue. And they think that she was bitten by, guess what?
It's obviously not a manta ray.
Nope. Oh, wrong button.
Just
I'm sorry about that. That's the button I meant to hit.
She was bitten by Sheriff Chitwood.
No, what? What? Who?
Who's the sheriff over there?
No, that's Broward. I'm talking about Broward County.
I was thinking
Yeah. No. No. So come on, lady.
But I like that one.
Lady comes out of the ocean bleeding profusely. They think she was bitten by what?
An octopus.
No.
Jellyfish.
No.
Somebody had to.
You don't bleed profusely from getting stung by a jellyfish. What was she bitten by? Come on, it's obvious.
Shark?
No.
A lobster.
No.
No.
A crab.
They
Crabs
think-
in Florida, not lobsters.
They think she was bitten by. Any idea?
Nope. Fresh out.
Piranha.
Oh, wait a second. You don't recognize the little song?
Of course I do.
Barracuda.
Yeah, there you go. Barracuda. You know, I've been around tens of thousands of barracuda. I mean, I've been around so many. I've been just inches away from barracudas as a scuba diver. I've never been bitten, never even close. You know, the whole thing, make sure you don't have shiny things and jewelry on. I got all kinds of shiny scuba gear. I've never been bitten by a barracuda, and no barracuda's ever lunged at me. Oh, and then while we're on the whole aquatic theme here on the MJ Morning Show, there was another story that a juvenile great white was spotted off of Pinellas County. Oh, you want to know why the juvenile great white was spotted off of Pinellas County recently? Big promotional thing for the 50th anniversary of Jaws this summer.
I was about to say, you're going to hear a lot about Jaws this year.
Yeah. So the Florida Fish and Wildlife Research Institute spotted a juvenile great white. And guess what? I guess a 13-year-old shark is still considered a juvenile.
Well, don't sharks live like as long as humans, maybe longer?
I don't know. I mean, I've been around a lot of sharks. I've never a great white, or at least I didn't know they were there. But I've, seen a whole variety of sharks while scuba diving for years. But a 7.5-foot juvenile great white.
Yes, a great white shark can live up to or around 70 years.
Holy crap.
So,
that's more than my grandfather on my mother's side.
You would call a 13-year-old person a juvenile, right? So I think they have like the same stages as human. I mean, they live about as long as a human.
Yeah, so they can't buy beer yet.
Right.
Can't
drive.
No driver's license yet.
Yeah.
No voting.
Another couple of years, they'll join the shark army.
A 13-year-old great white would be what, like a
juvenile,
a 7th or 8th grader?
Yeah, 7th grade.
Yeah, 7th grader. Yeah. So, off of Pinellas County, a 7.5-foot juvenile great white was spotted, and people are like, oh my God, a great white. It's the ocean or it's the Gulf. It is a large, massive saltwater body. A little bit of everything is going to be in there. Manta rays. You're going to have great whites. I mean, if you look at, there's a website where they track great whites because a lot of the great whites have been tagged. And there's a website where you can see where the great whites are, and they're all over the place.
So should we be looking before we go into the water?
Well,
and you can see that there are none, I mean, relatively speaking, no tagged great white in your beaching zone.
And keep in mind that the shark bites that occur, it's not the shark saying, "Oh, human, tasty. Oh, let me bite that human being." No, that's not the way it is. Sharks, when they bite humans, are essentially mistaking the human for fish or other aquatic life that they want to eat. A lot of times, swimmers that are, splashing around, and the sharks mistake the human for food, and they're not going after a human. It's not like, I'm a shark. Oh, look, there's a person. Let me bite their leg off. Let me chop them in half and, leave half a torso floating on a beach. It's sharks, or for instance, like shark attacks in Hawaii. There's been a number of shark attacks off of like McKenna Beach in Maui, for instance. A lot of times, swimmers are splashing, or like kayakers are dangling their leg overboard, and they're splashing around, and the shark just thinks it's food.
Yeah, it looks delicious.
Exactly. So I'm not concerned about the juvenile great white off the coast of Pinellas County that was spotted, in the last couple of days.
We'll go swimming over there then.
Yeah.
Go.
I have no problem. I'm telling you.
All right, go.
And as
Get chomped on.
And as a diver, you're a shark attacking a scuba diver is so freaking rare.
Oh,
So,
and a barracuda attack is so rare. I mean, hello.
It happens.
They are.
Plane crashes are rare.
Yeah. I mean, like nothing you're saying over there is dispelling any concern.
And Michelle is still terrified of the ocean.
Nope.
Because who took you to see Jaws? Oh, the neighbor.
My parents took me to see it because the neighbor said it was good. But I was going to say, when you laughed at me for bringing up Piranha, because, Jaws was then followed by what other movie?
What?
Piranha.
I thought you said Jaws 2.
Well, much later. But then there was the Piranha movie.
You know what? That movie fascinated me. That was on HBO. When I was a kid, HBO was fascinated and ran that movie Piranha all the time.
All the time.
Yeah. Do you remember that?
Yeah.
Early days of HBO. I think that was the only movie they had was Piranha.
No, they also had Kingdom of the Spiders, and they had The Town That Dreaded Sundown.
Oh, and Motel Hell.
Oh, I didn't see that one.
Oh, Motel Hell. Hey, look, it takes all kinds of critters to make Farmer Vincent's fritters.
Dude, the only thing I remember about piranhas in the movies is Richard Pryor in The Toy.
Oh, yeah.
During the fishing scene. And he walks out there with the boy. And the piranha comes running back in.
All right. Time is what? 6:33. I've got a good pile of early morons in the news next. The early morons are minutes away. Don't move here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105, 104.7 FM. If you have a garage door problem, call Banco. Listen to me, folks. I am only going to give you good, solid advice here on the MJ Morning Show. Any garage door problem, you want Banco. And not only can you bank on Banco, you can bank on 10% off if you mention me, MJ. So you call Banco, maybe your spring is broken. That's the most common service call, is that the coiled spring goes, it breaks. There's a certain number of cycles, whether it's 5,000, 7,500, 10,000. There's a certain number of cycles that those garage door springs are rated for. And when yours breaks, you call Banco. Get a fair price, get a quick job, quality service. Bank on Banco, best around. And you call them up and you tell them the MJ Morning Show sent you. Give me the MJ 10% discount. New garage door. Maybe you want a hurricane-rated garage door with hurricane season about to hit again. Any garage door opener installation, any upgrade, any service, call Bank on Banco. BancoDoors.com. Mention the MJ Morning Show. Let me give you another hot tip for something for the home. Hot tip. If it's hot outside, the hot tip is cool it down with my friends from Plan B AC. If you have an air conditioning problem, and you will, I'm going to tell you right now that you're not going to have your air conditioner give you infinity as far as service without a problem. At some point, it's just going to happen. Your air conditioner is going to break, a part's going to go, something's going to go wrong, and when you turn the thermostat to 74, 73, and you're expecting nice, cool air to come out because you've just come inside, you're hot, you're sweaty, it's 100% humidity, it's 94 degrees outside, and the AC is not working, what do? You call Plan B Air Conditioning. They'll get you up and running. Other companies will tell you, oh, no, your unit's shot. You need a brand new unit, $6,000 or whatever. Plan B will come out in many cases say, nope, we can fix it for hundreds versus thousands. Plan B Air Conditioning, again, mention me, MJ, they'll give you 10% off. 10% off, planbairconditioning.com, 813-PLAN-BAC. Any air conditioning problem, planbairconditioning.com. Tell them MJ sent you. Morons in the news next here on 104.7 FM. Traffic first, back in minutes. Begin at 6:41 on a Wednesday. Hey, what's the school schedule, Fester? When are your kids out?
Oh,
Hillsborough County Schools, when is the last day of school for your kidlets?
I officially lose my county-sponsored daycare on Friday.
This Friday.
Yeah.
So final day of school for your kids in Hillsborough Friday.
Yeah.
All right, just checking. All right, morons in the news. Now, this is sort of a celebrity / morons in the news story. Guess who was released from prison?
How were they released? Was there time up or were they pardoned? Because I saw some people were pardoned.
This is not a pardoning, so let me take pardon off the table.
Well, pardon me.
So this individual was let out of prison last Friday. Let me give you an audio daily double hint. All right, so let me give you a little bit of a hint here. I'm going to play, let's see if I can find the audio bite that I'm looking for. Hold on. Here we go. Okay, so this is your hint. Are you ready?
No.
All right, one more time.
No.
She's out.
Who is out?
The armorer.
Yes.
I forget her name.
Exactly. The dumbass armorer that Hannah Gutierrez Reed has been released. She's the dumbass armorer that had live rounds on the set of that Alec Baldwin Rust movie. Mm-hmm. Yeah. TMZ had the story. Rust armorer Hannah Gutierrez Reed, who was found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in the fatal shooting of cinematographer Helena Hutchins, has been released from prison. She was serving 18 months after being convicted by a New Mexico jury, and the state's Department of Corrections told TMZ she was let out of prison on Friday morning. Yeah, authorities told TMZ that she'll be on parole for 1 year as part of her Rust sentence, and she has 18 months of probation on a separate firearms charge. We're told that she had her sentence reduced due to good behavior. Yeah, she didn't shoot anybody in prison, apparently.
Technically, she didn't shoot anybody on the set either.
All right, she went to prison last March, so she was in just over a year.
Yeah.
So she got off easy. Again, live ammunition on a movie set. There shouldn't have been live ammo within 5 miles. Well, maybe if someone was on the road in their car driving by the movie set, that maybe they can have a gun in their car with live ammo.
It's the closed set for ammo.
You know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
The fact is, to have an armorer, and you have guns on the set, you've got guns used as props, and you've got live freaking ammunition. She was the one ultimately responsible, but obviously Alec Baldwin, as one of the producers, was also a moron because they went cheap. They did like dollar store armor instead of hiring a really well-known, highly qualified. And the ironic thing is that this Hannah Gutierrez Reed's father is one of the most well-known movie and TV set armorers for gun usage on movie and TV sets in the industry. So obviously, his experience did not rub off on her.
Well, no, I mean that's so often the case. I mean, nobody wants to listen to the Chloe Morning Show.
Actually, I think a lot of people might want to listen to the Chloe Morning Show.
The Julian Show? Oh, good.
Anyway, she'll serve her parole in Bullhead, Arizona, and the conditions of her release call for her to take a mental health assessment and comply with all resulting recommendations and treatment. And we're told that she's not allowed to contact Helena's family, and she cannot have any weapons. Yeah, I think her armorer career is over.
Well, I think Alec Baldwin's movie making days should be over.
Yeah.
His, he was tasked with oversight. They were hiring less qualified people, cutting corners here and there.
Yeah.
And they have to be members of a union. They're supposed to follow certain rules. And if he can't even follow a rule that protects the safety of the lives of the other people who are on set, boo, go.
That
Move
movie,
along.
Rust, was done on the cheap.
Yeah.
There are certain things you can do on the cheap. There is like the caterer. Hire a cheap caterer.
Yeah.
But hiring a cheap, non-qualified, inexperienced armorer?
Right.
I mean, that's just something you don't cheap out on. All right, so she's been released. Morons in the news. Oh, a story out of Florida here. Did you see the ex-con that was arrested for using a drone to drop things into prison?
How'd they find him?
Oh, man. Listen to this. An ex-con who spent nearly 20 years in a slammer has been arrested for using a drone to drop contraband into a Florida prison yard over on the other side of the state. Investigators charged that Kahid Ash, 46, flew the drone over the Martin County institution last Wednesday. There are 1,500 male inmates at the facility due to a rash of recent pre-dawn drone drops at the prison. 8 times over the past 2 weeks, detectives began patrolling the area around Indiantown, which is right off I-95 in Martin County, north of Jupiter and Palm Beach County. Can you imagine? They had 8 incidents. There were 8 incidents over the past couple of weeks where people are using drones to drop contraband into the prison yard for their friends or loved ones to get what? Meth, pot, pills.
I mean, I'm looking. Looks like he had a couple of soda bottles full of stuff.
A big Buford from Checkers.
Yeah. This is prison food.
Do they still have the big Buford?
I think they do.
I just remember seeing a commercial for the big Buford.
It's delicious.
That's a great name, the big Buford. What was the sheriff? Walking Tall. Buford Pusser. Right? Wasn't
I remember Buford something.
the big, what? Maybe Puss is not a good name. The Big Pusser. That's probably not a good name for a burger. Michelle's doing a rancid sourpuss face over there. You don't want to
barf.
You don't want to take a bite out of the Big Pusser?
No.
The Big Buford
Stop.
Pusser. All right. Anyway, is that insane? On May 21st, an investigator spotted a drone in between the prison and the work camp, followed the drone to a landing spot atop an SUV not far away that had been parked on the side of a nearby road. Man, that's ballsy. You're parked on the road, you're launching a drone from the roof of an SUV to go over to the prison yard to drop contraband inside the prison. That is insane.
Yeah, it's pretty sketchy.
Dude, that is ballsy is what it is.
So now he's back in the jail that he was trying to drop contraband in?
He's been arrested.
Maybe he was pre-planning, Fess.
As the drone descended toward the vehicle, Ash, dressed in all black, like a ninja.
Yes.
Like a drone ninja. So the individual dressed in all black exited the SUV and was subsequently detained for questioning. Some of the drone's lights had been covered up with black electrical tape to stop the blinking, so the guards in the tower were not easily able to spot it.
I mean, they thought of everything.
Yeah. Cops noted that the drone was outfitted with a payload release lever. This is insane. Ash told cops that he'd been in the area of the prison to practice flying his drone as there's no traffic, and claimed to have only been in the prison's vicinity once over the prior 2 weeks. However, Ash's car was detected there by law enforcement databases. They have license plate readers nearby. Probably a good spot.
Yeah, I think so.
Near a prison or a jail. Have some license plate readers.
There are all kinds of videos on YouTube of surveillance footage of stuff getting dropped in the prison.
Drone drops from prison. Man, folks, this is much more common than you ever imagined.
Are they going to have to put like a net up over the prisoners
Oh,
outside?
yeah, like a dome.
Yeah.
Like what they used to keep seagulls off of.
Right.
Yeah, they're gonna have to do like Iron Dome, like what Israel has, or
Shoot it out of the
or,
sky.
or now president's talking about the Golden Dome over North America, over the United States.
I think a net will work just fine.
Yeah, I think you're right. It's a little cheaper
Yeah.
than bringing in like Raytheon and Boeing
Yeah.
and Lockheed and all those. So during the period where contraband drops were discovered by jailers, the prison's drone detection system showed a DJI model flying in the same path used by Ash. So wait a minute, they have a drone detection system. I guess that's a thing. Jails and prisons have a drone detection. You know what? They ought to have like lasers that shoot them out of the sky,
Absolutely.
or Barrett 50 cals. You know,
Just to disable them,
Oh.
knock one propeller out or rotor out, and they're down.
take them out. Yeah, illegal items introduced into prison obviously are beneficial to the criminals inside. Some of the gangs inside. Gangs will use contraband as a way to gain control, have power in the prison. Yeah, this genius Ash lives about 40 miles away from the prison, and he's being held without bond. Yeah, he might have had his initial court appearance already, but he was arrested from numerous charges over the years, and he actually was released most recently from Florida State Prison in 2017. He served 19 years in custody for a series of armed robberies, and now he's dropping contraband in the prison in Martin County via drone. Guess where he's going?
Right back.
He's probably going right into that place right there, hoping that someone drops contraband for him in the next couple of months. Anyway, that's why we call it Morons in the News on the MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, there's some kind of Disney character that's making this like stink. No, and not a negative stink. There's this Disney character that's like having this big moment, and I've never heard of this damn thing. And I'm guessing a lot of you have never heard of it. The test is, does Andrew, our adult Disney weirdo here in the studio, does Andrew, Andrew's giving me a thumbs up. Andrew might know the answer to it. Also, the worst freaking baby names ever, all right? I've got two names, just independently, two stories about baby names, and you've got to hear these two names.
Okay.
Insane. That and a whole lot more next, because we got a good 20-minute chunk in minutes. And then, of course, at about 7:25, we start an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ on the way here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Don't move. You will be entertained next, I promise. WeatherTight Mike and WeatherTight Windows want you to get rolling before hurricane season really gets engaged. So as you know, hurricane season starts in a couple of days on June 1st. If you've been thinking about upgrading your windows to get hurricane-rated windows, now's the time to do it. Hurricane season for us generally doesn't get really ripping and rolling until, September, October. So you have plenty of time right now, but don't delay. If you need window and door replacements, you want WeatherTight Mike. Why? PGT Custom Windows and Doors make a heck of a good product. Among the best out there, folks. PGT, I talked to someone recently that toured their plant down in North Venice. They said their plant is unbelievable, high-quality stuff. So WeatherTight Mike only puts in the PGT Custom Windows and Doors, but there's another component. You have to have good installation. You can have a good product. If the installation blows, you're in trouble. You get the whole combo platter with WeatherTight Mike. Right now, $200 rebate per door, $100 rebate per window. Get your house in good shape before hurricane season, folks. WeatherTightWindows.com. Tell WeatherTight Mike the MJ Morning Show sent you. WeatherTightWindows.com. And don't forget the cookies. Don't forget to book your carpet cleaning job while this offer is in effect. Right now, get 3 rooms of carpeting cleaned in your house from Zero Res for just $119. That's a steal, man. That's a deal. You've got 3 rooms of munged up, stained, grotesque, hideous carpet. You call Zero Res, they'll get the stains out and make it look like new. Why Zero Res? It's about the process. The other carpet cleaning companies, they use the heavy soaps, shampoos. They leave a residue, a chemical stench. You know, the residue attracts dirt faster. It is counterintuitive. Why? Call Zero Res. The name says it all. Zero Res means zero residue. They use the process with ZR water. It doesn't leave a residue. Your carpets get cleaner and they stay cleaner longer. Right now, 3 rooms of carpet, $119. What a deal. Call Zero Res. Go on their website. Tell them MJ sent you. MJ Morning Show sent you. ZeroResTampaBay.com. ZeroResTampaBay.com. Traffic's on 656 MJ Morning Show. Back in minutes.
Traffic.
7 o'clock hours arrived, and it's time to pump up the MJ, pump up the MJ, pump up the MJ, jam, jam. All right, Mars. Michelle, you remember this thing? It was a great song. Yeah, Mars, pump up the volume, pump up the volume. All right, let's see if we can stump Andrew. Apparently, there's like this Disney character that has like no freaking backstory that nobody really knew about, nobody liked it, and then suddenly it's a huge hit. All right, Andrew, our adult Disney freak boy in the room.
Yeah.
Look, he's got a Mickey Mouse in the production room across the hall from us over here. He's got all kinds of Disney stuff. Any vacation Andrew goes on?
It's to Disney.
It is, 100%. He's never been anywhere else on vacation other than Disney. So, an adult Disney freako. All right, Andrew, do you know the so-called Disney character that is having like a renaissance moment at Disney parks around the country and the world? Do you know, Andrew?
Do you mean Duffy?
How the hell?
Duffy.
How do you know this?
I've never heard of Duffy.
Who the hell's ever heard of Duffy the Disney bear?
You know, I mean, I think I'm pretty well versed in Disney characters, or I can always tie them to something, but I've never, ever heard of Duffy the bear.
I never heard of this damn thing. I've never even seen it.
Well, what is it attached to? Like, is it a show or just the park?
That's the point. The story that I saw is that when you look at some of the other Disney characters, like, characters from Frozen, Moana, Wreck-It Ralph, you've got characters that are associated with Disney movies, but this Duffy the Disney bear, it's like not tied to anything.
And they have other bears, like the Jungle Book had a bear.
What about the Jamboree bears?
The Jamboree bear.
That's what I was thinking.
Disney-related bears.
Right.
And then there's this like little Duffy in a sailor outfit or something.
So Duffy apparently has no freaking backstory. It appeared like aliens dropped it.
But do you see what markets it appeals to?
Well, it started in Japan, I guess.
Tokyo Disneyland.
Yeah, it started to gain a ton of traction at Tokyo Disney, and now it's spreading to other Disney parks, including Disneyland out in Anaheim and Disney World here in Florida. So Duffy, the freaking Disney bear that no one knows what the hell this is. There's nothing. When you look at it, it's like there's nothing that screams Disney. It looks like just some bear in a claw machine at a Denny's,
I mean, if you look at the pads on the bear's feet, you can see a mouse head. But that's it.
His name is Duffy because he was presented by Minnie to Mickey in a duffel bag.
It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
I can't help that.
Anyway, all right, moving along. Are you ready for some ridiculous baby names?
Yeah, Duffy the bear.
That's funny. All right. Just two independent stories. I found one. I'm like, oh, man, we got to talk about this. And then I stumbled across another one. So a guy jokingly suggested a name for his sister's new baby, and the dude suggested a fungal infection.
Oh, no.
The sister took the name.
Oh.
The baby is named after a fungal infection. All right. The uncle, so the sister's brother, technically the baby's uncle, the sister was looking for baby names when his pregnant sister revealed that she was struggling to find a baby name. Matt, the brother of the mom, said, hey, I can help. So Matt, the brother, bought the sister and the baby a $900 wooden crib. But then she's like, I'm just having trouble with names. So he suggests a name. Matt, the brother, is a biology geek. He's a biology student.
So he knew what he was doing.
And and his sister's a nurse. So apparently he wanted to, kind of stick with a name, a theme. So he came up with a list. all the names that he came up with were medications, infections. So some of the names on the baby suggestion list were Viagra and hernia.
Okay, so
Ew.
those are obviously.
Little baby hernia. Like medical terms.
And she should know. She's a nurse.
Well, they still didn't have a good baby name, and he's coming up with all these possible names. He comes up with the name Malacesia. Fester, go to the Talking Dictionary. Malacesia. Go to m-w.com, and I'll.
Derived from a historical state in Malaysia.
Oh, what?
Your phone's talking.
What's going on?
It's not my phone. Your phone's talking.
Where the hell's my phone?
What are you doing?
However,
Shut
its
up!
unusual nature might also lead to frequent mispronunciations
What?
or
You
questions
said
about
Talking
its origin.
Dictionary,
Hold on.
and it perked up.
The best name is one that you both love and
How do
feel
I
is
shut
right for your
this?
baby.
Shut my phone off! Oh my God! Why is that dumbass Gemini on my phone? That's never happened before.
You said something, and it activated it.
My phone got activated. All right, you have the Talking Dictionary.
Did you say?
Aye.
Did you say Google,
Aye.
and it heard Google, and
Oh,
it turned on?
Oh, you know
You
what?
said, Fester, go
But-
to Google and look up baby names or something.
I do that all the time. That's the
But it
first
hurt-
time my phone just activated.
It heard you this time.
Starts
What's
talking.
the name?
All right,
My
type it Malacesia. M-A-L-A.
okay.
S-S-E-Z-I-A. So he suggested the baby's name Malacesia. She took the name. Malacesia is a fungal infection, I guess, related to chlamydia. All right, so Fester,
Are you sure?
well, that's what the story says, that there's some kind of relation. All
A
right,
yeast-like infection.
yeah. All right. So hold on a minute.
According
So
to this dictionary.
Fester's got the Talking Dictionary.
All right.
Let's just confirm I'm pronouncing Malacesia correctly. Go.
Malacesia.
All right. Close. Malacesia.
Malacesia.
All
Malacesia.
right, thank you, Fest. That's enough.
Malacesia.
All right, stop it now.
Okay.
Stop. Yes.
It's dandruff.
Well, it's but
I mean, honestly.
but dandruff is part of a fungal infection. All right. So here's the definition.
Oh, hold on.
Go back to Malacesia. A genus of lipophilic, typically non-pathogenic, yeast-like imperfect fungi, including, causes tinea versicolor and other, oh my God, often associated with seborrheic
Yes.
dermatitis.
That's
Yes.
dandruff.
Yes, that's dandruff.
So
the kid's name means dandruff, but it says here that there's some relation to chlamydia.
No.
it's an infection of the skin, I guess, but I don't know what. Maybe chlamydia was another option for a name.
Maybe it's incorrect. I wouldn't take that to the bank.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I wouldn't hire him as a physician or her as a nurse if that's what they think.
Malacesia is a form of yeast that naturally lives on the human skin.
Yeah.
And the baby's name, the girl's name, is now Malacesia.
You know
That's
what?
disgusting.
If
Oh,
you didn't know,
God.
if you didn't know what Malacesia is, it's a pretty name.
What?
It's like a funky Mallory.
You know what I give the
No.
kid?
A funky Mallory.
You know what I give the kid for their first birthday?
Head and Shoulders.
Yes.
That's right.
Dude,
That's right.
absolutely.
That's right.
Little infant.
That's right.
When your infant has nasty dandruff, it's new infant Head and Shoulders.
So this Malacesia causes another disorder called tinea, which I thought that was the name as soon as you said infections, because I looked up.
Tinea. What the hell's tinea?
It's a type of dandruff, but tinea is one letter off of Tina. And I was like, oh, that has to be the name, Tinea.
No.
Oh, Malacesia.
Yeah. All right, then here's the second awful, awful baby name. It happens to be in Germany. Woman names the baby Richie Rich Putin.
All right, I kind of like that. It sounds like
What the hell? Richie Rich Putin.
that sounds like a Russian rapper.
Yeah, this is from a Reddit thread. That is the worst baby name ever. I think Malacesia is award-winning next to naming your baby Richie Rich Putin. Guess what celebrity's getting sued? For posting pictures of herself.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, this is really, really fascinating.
But does she not own her own image?
Well, there you have it. So even though it's a picture of you, if a photographer took the picture and the picture is copyrighted, it's not yours. If you don't own the image, if a photographer took a picture of you, if you're a celebrity and you just co-opt and take that picture and you don't have permission or
that law should be changed.
You haven't licensed. Oh, you think that?
I think that if you're not compensated for a photo, you should have as much of a right to it as anybody else. If somebody takes your picture, MJ, your picture, walking on the street,
Yep.
local semi-famous radio personality,
Okay.
and you take
Whatever.
but you don't own that photo, and it's of you.
Well,
and you weren't compensated for
so
that photo.
you think if someone takes a picture of you that you should have skin in the game, that
Absolutely.
you should have some ownership, even though they took the image, they took the artistic, qualities of their training.
Look at you talking about how classy paparazzis are. I mean, MJ, yeah, if they take a photo of you and you are not compensated for it.
Guess what? This celebrity would love you. It's J-Lo. J-Lo is getting sued for posting paparazzi photos of herself that she just snagged, she grabbed, but she doesn't own the copyright, the photographer. So she's getting sued. J-Lo is getting sued for posting pictures of herself at a Hollywood party with the photographer and a paparazzi agency, claiming that she did not get permission, which means pay for them, in order to use them.
Yeah, that's a ridiculous law.
Yeah. So photos appeared on her social media. So J-Lo posted these on her social media, arriving at the Amazon MGM Studios and Vanity Fair party in Los Angeles. This was the night before this year's Golden Globes, which happened back in January.
Mm-hmm.
But now, photographer Edwin Blanco and Backgrid, which is the agency who was working, he was working for, they've each filed lawsuits saying that their copyrights have been violated. That J-Lo used copyrighted photos without permission, without compensation. The pictures were used to promote Ms. Lopez's public appearances, boost her user engagement, increase shareability, and lend credibility to her branded content. And Backgrid, the paparazzi agency, and Mr. Blanco or Blanco, they are seeking up to $150,000 in damages for each photo. You know, there are copyright laws, and there are provisions in the U.S. Code for, Michelle, isn't there, is it like if you violate a copyright, isn't it something like at least $25,000 per incident or something?
Yeah, there's a stated amount, and then you ask for, I think, punitives on top of that. But you automatically are going to be entitled to that.
So the pictures of J-Lo show her in a white dress and, I guess, white faux fur outside of this party at the Chateau Marmont.
She liked the pictures.
Yeah, it was a good picture.
She just grabbed. I mean, she ought to know that you just can't grab paparazzi photos. You got to seek permission.
Oh, she knows it, but, she's going to post it, and then she'll just pay them. I mean, she can afford to pay it, right? So what does she
guess
care?
what? She could have probably called the agency or the photographer and said, hey, I want to use these photos. Maybe they charged her $1,000 or $2,000.
Couple bucks,
yeah,
right.
Too much time.
Be a lot cheaper than $150,000 per picture lawsuit.
A drop in a bucket for her.
Yeah. Hey, do you remember, a little inside, a little behind the scenes here. Folks, you want to hear a crazy story? So when I was doing my afternoon show, when I was doing my syndicated afternoon show I did it for 22 years, and I just stopped it in the summer of 23 because I was just tired of the toxicity and the climate. And I have so much more fun doing this show. And I for those that have asked, I see people all the time, oh my God, I miss your afternoon show. It's like, I got to be honest, I did it for 22 years. I do not. So I apologize if you miss my afternoon show and my remarkably intelligent takes on everything in that world, in that environment.
Such a humble show,
but
too.
I don't miss it at all. In fact, I'm relieved that in this current climate, I'm not doing my afternoon show. But we posted a picture, and it was unbeknownst to me. I didn't know that the person had done this. I don't want to throw anyone under the bus, but I had somebody at the other radio company where I used to work So my show was being run out of there.
Right.
And we were talking about Anthony Weiner. Remember Anthony Weiner?
Of course.
The politician, New York, Anthony Weiner.
Of all the names, what this guy was into.
And of course, he got into the scandal with his nude pictures.
Yeah,
and
your name is Wiener. How about you keep your pants on?
That girl nicknamed Pineapple. And anyway, Anthony Weiner, who was married to, was it Huma Abedin, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And that whole thing became very public. So Anthony Weiner, I think he went to some kind of a sex rehab deal, right? Wasn't it like some sex addiction rehab?
He went to some kind of rehab. Yeah. I remember that.
And there was a photo of him, I think he was shirtless on horseback. And a paparazzo was like staked out and got a picture of Anthony Weiner on a horseback. And we were talking about Anthony Weiner. I was mentioning the photo, and this individual, this guy that was doing things for my afternoon show, who was paid by Clear Channel or they might have been iHeart already.
Sure.
So he was an employee, put the picture on my website. And of course, I owned my website. So the picture of Anthony Weiner on horseback, and he was like at some rehab facility in. Oh, no, here's the picture. No, he wasn't shirt. Why did I think he was shirtless? No, he was wearing a shirt.
Hey, so many pictures of him with no clothes on. It's easy to confuse that.
Anthony Weiner went to sex rehab, and he was at some camp in Tennessee. And the guy that was, posting the stories on my website took the whole photo and posted it. Anyway, somehow I got crawled, and it was discovered that the image was used. And suddenly I get a letter from this famous lawyer that made a career out of trolling radio station websites all across the country. Michelle, what was that ass clown's name?
Richard Leibowitz.
Richard Leibowitz. Every single radio company out there has had some run-in with this guy.
Mm-hmm.
So this guy sends me, I get a registered letter, the intent to sue. What they demand? They demanded like $25,000, right?
Something like that.
We got a demand letter. You used a photo on your website, unauthorized. I didn't post it. It was an employee for the radio company. It was Clear Channel or iHeart that posted it.
They got deeper pockets.
Yeah, but here's the deal. I concocted a scheme because I was still working for them at the time. I concocted a scheme that I will deal with this. I will plead ignorance. I'm a small little radio show, and he didn't know that iHeart was really behind the posting of the photo by an employee, unbeknownst to me. So I kind of schemed with, hey, I'm just a small little radio show.
Did you use that meek voice?
Yes.
Oh, I'm a little radio
But
show.
I schemed with, and I had conversations with Lee. I handled this on my own.
Yeah.
So I had conversations with this guy, and we agreed to a $5,000 settlement. So instead of $25,000 or more, I said, listen, I'm just a little radio show and
not making much money.
Listen,
I'm just an independent operator.
Independent operator. I'm just breaking even over here. I don't have $25,000. So he agreed. They settled for $5,000. Meanwhile, I didn't pay it. iHeart paid the $5,000.
Yeah, made it go away.
Yeah, and even the legal department at iHeart in San Antonio, Texas, they said, man, hey, MJ, we ought to have you negotiate all of these settlements, because they were thrilled. And they were responsible because it was posted at their station, their facility, by one of their employees that should have never posted the photo. So that was my run-in with a copyrighted photo situation. And, here's, J-Lo in a similar situation. By the way, that lawyer was a pain-in-the-ass troll artist.
Oh, yeah.
And he got in trouble. He was ultimately disbarred.
Yeah. I mean, iHeart knew of him right away. The minute you called legal, they were like, "Yep,
Oh, Richard Leibowitz.
yep."
Yeah.
They knew right away.
Every radio, trust me, Beasley, our current company's had a run-in with this guy. Everyone. And the guy was essentially put out of business. He was disbarred.
Well, he's disbarred, but he's a Broadway producer, so.
Oh, now he's a Broadway
I don't
producer?
think he's now. I think he's always been a Broadway producer, and this helped, probably bankroll that.
It is 7:21 at the MJ Morning Show. We're back in minutes. We start over an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next. All right, you got to stop your daughter. Your daughter's making promises that her butt can't cash?
Dude, I got such issues with this one.
Hang on. So, hold on. We've got to, Hadley's making promises, things that I'm supposed to do.
She's saying things on your behalf.
Okay.
I don't say things on your behalf.
Also, you're not going to believe the fraud that my son Julian was involved with. Oh, man. We had to go to Best Buy yesterday and try to untangle this bizarre situation. A bizarre counterfeit situation involving Best Buy and Samsung. Holy crap, you got to hear what happened. That and a whole lot more. Because we do an hour and 20 minutes of nonstop MJ next, so don't move. We're just getting rolling on this thing, folks, and we're going to be loaded in minutes here on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. Hey, Westfall Roofing is the company that you can count on to fix your roof when your roof needs a repair or you might need a brand new roof. It's a fact, Jack, that roofs in Florida last an average of 15 to 20 years. The pounding sun, the elements. It might be time for a roof replacement. Who do you call for your roof replacement? It's Westfall Roofing. This is a family-run company that's been around since 1989. And keep in mind, before that, they were building houses. So they were building houses from the ground up, and obviously they were putting the roof on top. And then the business kind of morphed into a roofing company since 1989, the premier roofing company here in the Tampa Bay area. If you want the job done right, if you want the job done with happy workers, they were named one of the best places to work in the Tampa Bay area by the Tampa Bay Business Journal. Any roofing issue, whether you need a roof repair or you need a brand new roof, westfallroofing.com, and tell them that MJ sent you. International Diamond Center. We are so lucky to have IDC here in the Tampa Bay area. I was just in a couple of Fridays ago to visit, and I saw the team. I saw, the owner, Keith LeClaire. And listen, their reputation in the jewelry business is phenomenal. The reputation in the diamond world, worldwide, is phenomenal. They know IDC. They deal with the biggest diamond entities on the planet. They're not the middleman. They cut the middleman out. You're not going to see a larger selection of diamonds anywhere in the state of Florida. If you want to see every possibility, every color, every cut, every size, they have it all at phenomenal prices. Plus, none of the folks at IDC are commissioned. They're salaried. They're not trying to jam you up. Anything jewelry, whether it's engagement time, whether it's upgrade time, they have the best designers because they want to work with IDC. Anything jewelry, folks, it's IDC, Tampa, Clearwater, Lakeland, and Sarasota. And tell them MJ sent you. Traffic's on 724 MJ Morning Show back in Mirror. up on 7:29. It's the MJ Morning Show. All right, running a little late here, but don't worry. You get all hour, 20 minutes of nonstop MJ plus. Yeah, we just go a little longer on the other side. All right, Fester, you got to get your daughter under control, man.
I think she is uncontrollable.
Oh, my. So uncontrollable, incorrigible. So, Michelle, you don't know this yet.
What?
Fester tipped me off. Hadley, is she selling shout-outs on the MJ Morning Show?
Not yet, but that's a good idea.
yeah.
That is a good idea.
So Fester sent me a note.
Yeah.
We got a problem. My daughter Hadley is promising people shout-outs on the MJ Morning Show.
And it's not like it's her friends.
Yeah.
Where, she's like, throwing a shout out to her friend Gianna or
Who
something.
the hell is she promising shout-outs
So
to?
this weekend, we had the long holiday weekend,
Right.
and her and I are in the car. We're driving, and she's farting around on my phone. Can I look at your phone while we're driving? It's like, okay. In lieu of actually talking and having a memorable connection time, just look at my phone while I drive silently. And I get a text message, because I get text messages all the time. I mean, even over the holiday weekend, I probably got 150 different text messages.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah. And I get a text message from a guy. It sounds like a young person named Adrian, and they ask for a shout out. And I am for their dad.
Right.
And I did not receive the text because you know how I feel about shout outs. I don't think we should ever do them. I think it's ridiculous. And it's the worst kind of radio. Nobody cares.
Well, hold on.
that Billy in Zephyr Hills is having a birthday. I mean, it's the bigger audience. I mean, Fallon doesn't talk about somebody in the middle of, the Ozarks having their 33rd wedding anniversary. It's not a thing.
I don't think anyone's watching Fallon anymore anyway.
The point remains.
Yeah.
A big show doesn't really focus on one
all
thing.
those late night TV shows are in trouble.
Yeah. I watch your clips online. I see the clips on social media, and they're funny. But I haven't sat down and watched all the
appointment television that used to exist for like the late night shows, like Jay Leno, and I mean it just doesn't exist. David Letterman.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about these shows anymore. Whether it's Stephen Colbert, whether it's Jimmy Fallon. Who's the other dude on ABC?
I don't even know.
Jimmy Kimmel.
Okay.
Yeah, Kimmel used to work at Q105 as a promotional van driver.
His wife writes a lot of his stuff.
Really?
Yeah. She's big in Hollywood.
Jimmy Kimmel can go bleep himself. He has said on multiple occasions that he hates the Tampa Bay area.
Yeah.
Tampa's a dump.
Okay, not everybody has a good experience in every situation.
All right.
Well, he shouldn't go disparaging us nationwide like this, Fester.
If he didn't have a good experience.
You know what? I think Channel 28 ought to run like infomercials instead of running their show at like 11:30 at night.
Or a disclaimer. Thoughts and opinion of
No. Don't even run the show.
You know what? They might make more money.
Don't even run the show.
All right, anyway.
Run like a Life Alert infomercial.
All right, this isn't about that.
All right, go ahead.
All
The
right,
bigger picture is I hate shout-outs. I think they're terrible.
What has your daughter done now? And what do I need to do about it? Do I need to scold her?
No.
We'll call her because she's promising this. Sounds like a kid.
Again, how did she?
Okay.
I don't understand.
Okay, I get a text message.
Yeah.
And the text message says, "Hello. Me and my dad have been listening to the show since 2019. Okay. And I really want to give him a shout out."
So your daughter is answering your text messages
because she got it while she's farting around on my phone. A text came in and she read it first, and she's like,
"Just listen to the rest of the
she's
text."
Being helpful.
All right, go ahead.
Give my dad a shout out. His birthday is tomorrow, which was Monday because this came in on Sunday.
Okay.
His name.
Well, guess what? Monday was Memorial Day, and we weren't here anyway.
She covers that base. She's like, "My dad's name is Dave Diaz, and my name is Adrian Diaz. Can you please tell him he's the best dad ever, and I love him so much?"
Was there a specific time for the shout out?
It gets there. I mean,
how long is this text?
That's the end of the text.
But wait, Hadley had what kind of response?
Hadley writes back, "Hey, Adrian, this is Hadley, his daughter. There's a holiday tomorrow, so my dad doesn't have to work the morning show.
What is she, a rep now?
But I'll be sure to have him do it and give you a shout out on Tuesday."
Which was yesterday.
Hadley.
Which we didn't do.
And then the guy writes, "Okay, thanks so much." And then Hadley writes back, "No problem."
She's so professional, Fester.
Yeah, you've got to tell her, first of all, don't read your text messages. Why are you letting it? My kids never touched my phone. I was never
yes, they do. Chloe's hacked your phone all the time.
No. When they were younger, I never let the kids play on the phone. Oh, listen, I want my kids to shut up and behave in a restaurant. Here, play with my phone. I've got 5 different apps on here to entertain the kids. I never did that.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ooh, Dad of the Year over here.
So I got to call your daughter up right now and tell her.
It's up to you, man, but she's promising you're going to do shout-outs for people we don't know.
I think it sounds like a very nice interaction with a listener who reached out to you, and look how she just took the bull by the horns, and she just took care of it.
If I would have gotten that text, I'd be like, listen, kid, tough luck.
Yeah,
That's not going to happen.
Right. I'm calling your wife.
All right.
Hello.
Hello, Mr. MJ.
Oh, great. It's Hadley.
Oh, hello, Hadley.
All right, first of all, listen, I do like to bend over backwards for our listeners. Our listeners, what are the names here?
Adrian sent the text, and
Adrian's the son.
And his dad is David.
All right.
And he wants him to know he's the best dad ever.
All right, Fest, don't do that in a mocking voice.
Okay.
Listen,
he wants him to know he's the best dad ever,
Fest,
and he loves him.
I'm going to throw a stapler at you.
Great.
All right, listen. I appreciate and respect our listeners, and I really appreciate everyone that listens to the show. I appreciate everyone that acts as an ambassador and tells people that maybe that don't listen to our show to give the MJ Morning Show a shot. The best pound-for-pound morning entertainment in the entire market on every single broadcast day. I appreciate our listeners, but Hadley, I don't think you ought to be playing with your dad's phone and answering texts that come in.
No, I'm going to hire her as my secretary over the summer. Oh, what's the thing, Hadley?
The thing is, Mr. MJ, you don't have any games on your phone. Your phone is boring because you're a boomer, first of all.
No. I am.
Go, Hadley, go.
She just called me a boomer. I am not a boomer. I'm Gen X, just like your dad.
How many games do I have on my Hadley? How many games do I have on my phone?
It's hard to count, but all I know is that I have like 83 on mine.
Wow.
I counted.
What the hell?
All right, so what was the message? Did I get the message right, Hadley?
Yes, you did. And his name is Adrian Diaz, and his father's name is David Diaz.
Yeah, we got that.
I read the message.
Right. All right. But Hadley, you shouldn't be promising people things on the MJ Morning Show. You're not an official agent to make promises.
Don't you lecture her.
I'm unpaid, okay? And I am your representative. Thank you very much.
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, we have kind of.
She's like.
We do have unpaid representatives now, don't we, Michelle?
She's like an ambassador.
All right, anyway.
She's an ambassador out there into the community of listeners. And I have to say, her interaction or the listeners' interaction was so improved over what they would have gotten if Fester had responded.
Right, of course, Fester's cell phone number is no secret, 813-310-8444. You can send Fester texts on his private cell phone, but I wouldn't ask for shout-outs.
Well,
now you're going to get a ton of shout
it's not going to happen, MJ. I mean, and you're trying not to agree with me because you want to say, "Oh, I love all of our listeners," and we do. But it's really hard. Nobody would listen if we were like, "Hey, and Billy and Brandon is having a 14th birthday today."
Right.
You know, that's not what good radio
Fester,
is.
how about you put a screen lock on your phone so your daughter can't answer your texts?
Hadley, what's my passcode?
0000000.
6 zeros.
Oh my God. The password you're never supposed to have is what Fester has. All right, Hadley, I got to run, Hadley.
Wait, we do need to go ahead and let Fester say the thing that the son wanted to say.
Oh, Hadley, you say, do you remember what Adrian wanted to say to his dad?
So, dear David Diaz, you are the best dad in the world. Your son loves you very much, and happy birthday.
I mean, that's just so nice.
Oh, it's so sweet.
Okay, Hadley fan club, party of one over here.
Hadley, Hadley, that's it. That's the last time you can make a promise that the MJ Morning Show is going to do something, okay?
I make no promises.
Oh, gee, this kid. All right, goodbye. Unbelievable.
Have a good day in school, kid.
Unbelievable.
Don't take any crap from anybody.
All right, so you know what happens today? Oh, the Julian story. Julian got in the middle of a counterfeit fraud deal. We had to go to Best Buy yesterday to try to unwind this mess. You're not going to believe what happened. We'll get to that in a minute. First, though, guess what happens today?
What does happen today?
Today,
I know what today is.
Today is Wednesday, May 28th.
I know what today is.
Why is today a major milestone?
Because you're a nerd. You are concerned about today being the day that Southwest Airlines, as we know it, dies.
Southwest Airlines has officially died today in the form that we know it. You're now free to pay for your luggage on Southwest Airlines. Now they hate bags. Remember we love bags. Bags fly free. Nope. Southwest starting today. So if you have a booking that you're making today from today on, so if you're traveling up to today and you had previous reservations, then your bags are going to fly free. For any ticket purchased today and forward, you are going to pay for your bags. That was like the difference between Southwest and the regular airlines, is that they love bags. Bags fly free. Well, no longer. Southwest finally announced yesterday. They waited until the last freaking minute. So today's the day that Southwest Airlines starts charging for luggage. And they waited until yesterday to make the announcement on what the luggage fees are going to be. $35 for the first bag, and the second bag, $45.
That sucks.
So that was the difference between some people picking American, Delta, United, or flying Southwest.
The sole reason you picked Southwest
was bags
fly free.
Well, listen, there were a couple of things. Southwest is not the same Southwest for a number of years. There used to be a time where Southwest, where their fares were just considerably cheaper. And then I woke up one day and suddenly Southwest had the same prices.
Everybody else.
Or more than Delta or American or United.
Okay, fine. But you can rationalize, okay, the tickets are the same price, or the tickets are $15 more, but I'm not spending $90 in air and luggage.
Right. And you know
Both
when
ways.
And you know when I would use that? When I was taking the kids to school or camp.
Yeah, Michelle used it a bunch of times. How many you came back from was it Chloe or a year ago from everybody had big duffel bags and they all flew back on Southwest for free?
Yeah.
Right.
Chloe was moving back to Florida after she graduated in December 23. She graduated a semester early from UNH up in New Hampshire, and we flew Southwest back because all of us, she was able to bring a whole bunch of duffels for free on Southwest. So again, it's a whole game changer now. You know, Southwest, years ago, they raised their fares so they were the same price as the other airlines, or in some cases even more. I've had deals where Southwest was more expensive to fly than Delta.
Right.
And that shouldn't be.
And you don't get to pick a seat.
Right. So two things changing. Now bags are going to cost you on Southwest. The fares have creeped higher for years. So now they're charging like premium prices, but they're not a premium airline.
They suddenly fall to the lowest airline on my list.
I know numerous Southwest captains, and they're saying that the changes are going to be interesting. They don't know what's ultimately going to happen. For instance, I want you to hear this. Andrew, I said to Andrew this morning, hey, go find a whole bunch of Southwest commercials where they talk about bags flying free or why do other airlines hate your bags.
We hate them now, too.
Here, listen to this.
You know how much you're charging for those bags?
Up to $120 round trip.
You're under arrest for attempted bag aside.
Southwest Airlines, we love bags.
These bags right here, they fly free.
Why would these airlines charge for bags?
Ma'am, can you identify the other airline that charge you bag fees?
That's it. That one right there.
Bags have it made. Except on other airlines, where they charge you up to $120 round trip.
On Southwest Airlines, we don't charge fees for stuff that should be free. Southwest, fees don't fly with us.
It's happening. Let's go. We got a 120 in progress. What's a 120? Another airline's charging up to $120 round trip for 2 bags.
Look at that. That's a montage of a whole series of old Southwest commercials. Yeah, chuck that crap out the window. Eject that from an emergency exit at 35,000 feet because your bags are now being charged effective today on Southwest.
When do they start assigned seats?
That's another deal. So I think that might be later this year or early next year. Then the boarding categories of A, B, and C, the open seating deal, the quicker you check in, the earlier you're going to get in the A group or the B group. That's going to change as well. I believe that might be next spring. Can you look that up? When will Southwest stop open seating?
All right, so give me one reason to fly Southwest Airlines now.
Well, the question is...
They're going to Atlanta. Give me one reason to go, hey, let's get a ticket on Southwest.
It just says early 2026 is what they're proposing.
So early next year, that's when they're going to change the whole seating policy.
Whatever.
But the airline is like in a total transition, and now they hate your bags. They used to love your bags. Now Southwest hates your bags to the tune of $35 charge for bag number 1 and $45 for bag number 2.
I think that's about on par with the other airlines, though.
Oh, no, it is. It's roughly on par, but that was the difference. What is the difference with Southwest now? Now there's no difference.
No, yeah.
So what's going to happen with their sales? I guess we will have to see. And they waited until the last minute. Oh, speaking of I got a couple of airline stories here, a couple of airplane-related stories. Listen to this. A woman was arrested. You know Sanford Airport?
Outside of Orlando?
Yeah, so Sanford Airport is to Orlando Airport as PIE is to Tampa International.
That's a good analogy.
Yeah,
okay,
I can write SAT questions.
Yeah.
Okay?
That is not an SAT question.
No, it's like so-and-so is to so-and-so.
It's like a 10th grade logic question. Yeah, okay. I'm looking at pictures of it. Yeah, it's like PIE. Okay.
So the Sanford Airport, listen to this. Sanford Airport Police, northeast of Orlando, they arrested a woman outside of an airport gate after she repeatedly was hitting a kid on the plane. So a woman hitting a kid on the plane. Why? I can see this being your kid, Fester. The arrest report from the Sanford Airport Police said the kid was calling the woman, Christy Crampton, fat and Miss Piggy.
Okay.
What the hell?
Dude, that sounds like Hudson.
All right, you got two things at play here. First of all, you shouldn't hit a kid for calling you names. And then second of all, where the hell were the parents of this kid allowing the kid to call another passenger fat and Miss Piggy?
I mean, if the kid gets it out 1 or 2 times, then the parent can correct the behavior. Like, we were at Sam's Club over the holiday weekend, and there was a lady who was so big on the motorized scooter that you couldn't see the scooter. She was just like sloughing around the store. She was a very, very large person. And Hudson just looks at me and looks at her, and he just says, "What's up with that?" And I'm like, "I don't know, boy. Don't look. Put your finger down."
Crampton was on board. Oh, I've got a fat story to tell, too, when I was a kid. I might have told this years ago. Crampton was on board Allegiant Flight 2885 from Orlando, Sanford International Airport to Hagerstown, Maryland. This was on Memorial Day, on Monday. The family was set to fly home from their Disney World vacation. According to what witnesses told police, this is from NBC Orlando, the child told Crampton she couldn't fit in the airplane seat. Man, this kid...
Sounds honest?
This kid is telling a large woman, hey, you're not going to fit in that seat.
I mean, the kid is saying what everybody... This is like the Emperor's New Clothes, right?
So the kid tells the passenger, Crampton, hey, you're not going to fit in that seat. Calls her fat and Miss Piggy. Witnesses say that Crampton began beating on the child with her fist and hit him on the head with a water bottle as well. The report says that she slammed the child's head into the airplane window. It's like a WWE move. The report said the child used his arms to cover his head Tell you what, that kid's not going to call another adult fat or Miss Piggy anymore.
Maybe not in a confined space, but if he would have started running, she would never have caught him.
Airport officials haven't said how old the child is, so I have not seen how old the kid is. I would imagine the kid's like, if I were to guess 7 or 8.
Yeah.
You same
I was
guess?
going to guess it's 8. That was my magic age I was thinking in my head.
I think they were together. This isn't a stranger kid.
No, well, that's not what I have.
Hold on. So she's beating up her own kid?
No,
I think so.
No, that's not what I have. So
does it say that they don't know each other?
Arrested.
There's nothing that says they know each other.
She says that the child was very rude and disrespectful during their trip to Disney. That implies they were together.
After the child called her fat, Crampton told police she took his phone away.
Mm-hmm.
So they might have been together. So she's smacking her own kid.
Again, but there's nothing specific that it was her child.
According to the report, police say she went beyond typical disciplinary actions. The woman was not correcting the child. She was abusing him.
The claim is she pushed him off an armrest twice and began smacking him. According to the police report, went beyond disciplinary actions. See, but it doesn't say the kid is the son. It doesn't say
so
that.
There's no
it doesn't say
action.
that Crampton is the mother of the child.
She's some kind of guardian over this child because there's no corrective action a stranger can do to another kid.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. The inference is from the language provided in the police report or in the news report. It sounds to me like they were together.
I've wanted to smack the hell out of plenty of people's kids.
Why doesn't the story say that Crampton, that Miss Piggy is the kid's mother?
Because the AI bot that wrote it, or the person that just graduated Valencia Community College who wrote this article, didn't put it in there.
What's Valencia? You mean Volusia?
No, Valencia. It's in Orlando.
Oh, it is?
It's a thing.
Crampton is charged with felony child abuse. Yeah, she appeared yesterday before a Seminole County judge. She had a $10,000 bond issued. No contact with the child. The FBI also notified of the incident because it happened on an airplane. But nowhere in the story does it say that it was her child specifically.
But they refer to them as the family was set to fly home from their Disney World vacation. There's nothing in here that says it was a stranger's kid. And quite honestly, Fester, if Hudson is sitting over there and calls some lady Miss Piggy and you're fat, and she hits him on the head with a water bottle and slams his head into the window, do you think she's getting off that plane to get arrested?
Yeah, I mean, seriously, she's catching it while she's on the plane.
Yeah.
You don't touch other people's kids.
Yeah.
It's her kid or it's her kin.
Yeah.
There's some kind of relationship there that we're not getting in the story. But
Fester, if Julian said to some lady, you're fat and not fitting in that seat, and she slams his head into the window, what do you think I'm doing?
You're going crazy on the lady.
Oh, yeah, you're going nuclear meltdown on her face.
All day long.
My kid does feel comfortable enough to tell me, you're not going to fit in that seat.
All right, Julian's fraud.
What happened to him?
And I'll get to that in just a couple of minutes here. So Julian, our son, involved in this counterfeit fraud deal. Crazy freaking story. And it started off a little shaky, but then the manager was brought in, and this is at Best Buy. So I'll tell the whole story in just a second. Best Buy made it right, but you got to hear what happened. This is crazy in just a minute or so. So 2 other airplane things. This is a foreign airline, but man, I agree with this. Turkey, the country of Turkey, is going to fine aisle lice. You've heard of gate lice, right?
Yeah, what is that?
Gate lice are the people that crowd the gate, even before their boarding group is called. The people that loiter and hang around the gate.
You can only get on the plane one at a time.
And they're calling boarding group 1, 2, 3, whatever, the pre-boards, the 360, the million milers or whatever. So, there's a boarding order. The people that just hang out and they crowd the gate, they're known as gate lice. So what do you think aisle lice are? I think this is a great concept. I would support this spreading to the United States. Aisle lice are the people that the minute the plane lands, they get up, they try to race down the aisle. I hate that.
But that never works really well. If you're 20 rows back, maybe you get to row 15.
You get clogged up. And, man, those people that try to rush to the door thinking they're going to be the first off, that pisses me off. Let's say I'm row 15, And then you have somebody back in 25 that the minute the plane lands, right?
Yeah.
And they get to, and sometimes they don't even wait for the thing to fully pull into the gate.
Oh my gosh.
And they're already standing up and they're taking their luggage out of the overhead. And a lot of times the flight attendants have to make an announcement. Please, everybody, we're not at the gate. Please stay seated. Do not get out of your seat. Do not open up the luggage bins. Happens all the time. So I think this is great. The Turkish aviation authorities are going to fine passengers who stand up early and crowd aircraft aisles while waiting to deplane. And the fines could reach $70 per incident.
Ooh.
And I'll tell you what.
$70.
Ooh.
I'll pay $70 to rush off the airplane. I mean, honestly.
Here's $100. Keep the change. Get me off this.
I'm going before first class.
Oh, you know what they need to do on airplanes? They need to put like the roller coaster U-shaped harnesses over the passengers in the airplane seat. And they don't let you up until it's time. You know what? That's how you do an orderly. Oh, my God. I just came up with it. How do you do orderly airplane disembarkation? You do the roller coaster harnesses that go over you, and the flight attendant controls when it lifts up to let you out of your row.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
I think it's fantastic. No, but seriously, all kidding aside, the aisle lice, the people that jump up and they try to race past you, you're trying to get out and they're pushing you out of the way with their roller bag and everything. I hate these stupid lice. On the airplanes. Can't stand it.
I hate these stupid lice.
Are you mocking me?
A little bit. I don't know.
What are you mocking me for?
Stupid lice.
All right, I got to call Julian. Man, what a story. All right, calling Julian. Had an issue. He bought something at Best Buy. It turned out to be a fake. It's a crazy story, and it took Julian a little time to figure it out. Am I dialing the right number here?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so.
Maybe he's still asleep.
Nah, he's awake. Julian? Hello? What the hell's going on?
Maybe
Stop
you did
ringing.
dial the wrong
I
number.
don't think so.
So he bought a piece of electronic equipment?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Julian up in New York bought a 4 terabyte drive. Julian.
Yes.
So I'm telling the Best Buy counterfeit Samsung drive story here. And folks, this is nuts. So back in February, Julian bought a 4 terabyte Samsung SSD drive for your computer.
Correct.
You bought it at Best Buy. And you bought this at Best Buy in Manhattan. There's a Best Buy at like 23rd and 6th Avenue, and that's where Julian bought this thing. How much was this drive from Samsung?
It was originally like $350, but I got it on sale for like $250. It was a good sale, and I was actually using it for an external NVMe enclosure. Like
I don't need to know all that crap.
Don't get too nerdy on us.
I don't need to know that crap.
Nobody cares.
All right, so Julian comes home from school, and he has time to like set up this drive and to put stuff on the drive. Julian's at home earlier this week, and the drive sucks. It's not like getting to the right speed. It's not reacting properly. I don't want you to get too nerdy on the description. And then Julian uses some kind of a program that reads the drive. The drive didn't even come up as Samsung. And Julian has another one of these drives, and it shows it's a Samsung drive, has a Samsung serial number. This drive exhibited none of that. And then suddenly Julian's like, what's wrong with this drive? Julian goes on to Reddit and starts reading threads about counterfeit drives. These are phonies. These are like Chinese cheap ass, like Temu, Alibaba knockoffs.
Yeah, as opposed to the Chinese name brand ones.
All right, so Samsung, of course, is a Korean company. They make high quality stuff.
Right.
Julian bought this at Best Buy. This is what's unbelievable. He bought the drive at Best Buy, and it's a fake drive. It's a counterfeit drive. So Julian just discovers this. He bought it in February, opened up the box earlier this week when he got home from college for the summer, and he realizes that this thing's a phony. Then he goes online. He finds all kinds of discussions and threads about these phony drives.
I made a Reddit post, and people were telling me, yeah, this is counterfeit. This is fake.
Yeah.
Well, so hold on, Julian. Was it in original Samsung packaging?
Yes.
Listen to this.
Yeah. Just wait.
All right, but wait a minute. The story gets even better here. So it was in a Samsung box. What was the name of the drive? A 9060 or something?
No, it's a 990 Evo Plus.
990 Evo Plus, 4 terabyte SSD solid state drive from Samsung. And Julian determines that this thing is an absolute fraud. It's a phony, but he bought it at Best Buy. It's not like he bought this thing on eBay or, some guy at a street corner. Hey, got some good deals on it. He bought it at freaking Best Buy.
And you have to have the employee come over and unlock the cage for you to get it.
Yeah.
Like, it's not, just out in the open.
Yeah, the whole deal. So Julian discovers it's phony. It's total fake. It's not even reaching a tenth of the performance. I mean, it's a total bogus piece of crap. So we go to Best Buy yesterday. Julian bought this thing in February and just discovered that this thing was a counterfeit fraud yesterday. And Best Buy has a 14-day return policy. So,
oh, that's funny, Fester.
What am I amusing you? What am I entertaining you? All right.
I bought it back in 2019. But you have a 14-day
dude.
return.
All right. It was all right. March, April, May. Okay, 3 months. And Julian was defrauded.
This is suspicious.
Now this was not this is not intentional by Best Buy. So we go to customer service, and the guy is nice enough, but he's like, I don't know what to do with this. This is well beyond the 14-day return. It's like, hey, dude, he just opened it up. He's just home from college, and he said, all right, let me call the manager. So he calls the manager over.
What was his name? Was it like a manager name, like Skip or Chip?
It was Seth.
Was it?
No, it was not. I have no idea. So the manager comes over. Julian told the story again, and the manager said, yep, no problem. We'll exchange it. So
he knew there was a problem.
Well,
for the manager that quickly to roll over on company policy when you're when you're returning it after 16 weeks.
The manager did the right thing. Because listen, I got a college kid that's out $275 or whatever the deal was. With a counterfeit drive it's sluggish piece of garbage. It's just junk. So they go and grab a replacement one. Julian doesn't want the money back. He just wants the 990 Evo Plus Samsung 4 terabyte drive that works.
Yeah, if it worked, you would never have returned it in the first place.
Right.
Yeah.
So they go get another drive, and they put the new drive on the counter, and then you can even see the issues. Now, Julian had already discovered that like the sticker on the drive was kind of haphazard. Julian said something. Julian, you noticed that some of the pins were not right on the actual drive, correct?
Oh, yeah. The pins weren't looking right. The drive was a completely different form. And then when they set it down on the counter, it caught both of our eyes.
Yeah, the box color, the blue box was different on the real drive versus the counterfeit. Right. Then there's like a barcode and a sticker on the side. The barcode sizes and the font and the print were different.
Okay. Right. So was this product originally purchased and then returned?
Yeah. So listen, this is probably what happened as I wrap up the story. But folks, the point is you got to be careful of this stuff. What probably happened, somebody up in New York bought a real Samsung 4 terabyte drive, a real authentic one. They kept it, had the receipt. Then they had the phony one, the counterfeit one, and they brought that back to return it. And then that got restocked, put on the shelf, and that's what happened. Fake box, fake drive, fake everything. And Julian was just the unlucky sap that bought the counterfeit drive legitimately from a Best Buy.
What a sap.
I mean, it was remarkable how much the boxes looked, the same, so similar.
Until
you look at them side by side, then you're like, whoa, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I mean, all of the numbers that go underneath the barcode were all the same.
But there were subtleties.
All the information, right. It was just a very slight difference that the average person who's just looking at it for I need a backup drive for work, I need a backup drive for whatever, they go and buy this thing.
When I started looking at the boxes, then you could see that there were definite differences in the box. The drive was different. But Best Buy made it right, and they gave Julian a new Samsung 990 Evo Plus drive. But you got to be careful, folks.
Yeah.
And this is a big racket that people will bring, counterfeit products. They'll take the real one out and put a counterfeit one and return it to the store, and you could be the next sucker that ends up with something. So Julian discovered the performance on this drive was sucky. He plugged it into what's the program that showed that it wasn't even Samsung or didn't have a Samsung serial number?
Well, there's several, but it's Samsung Magician, which will actually tell you if it's genuine serial number. And it will say genuine, like hardware.
And it didn't come up right. So anyway, good job. And Best Buy, thank you for making it right and giving Julian a real Samsung drive. But you got to be careful, folks, with all this counterfeit stuff out there. And you go to a store and buy it, and the last thing you suspect is that you're going to get a phony. And that's what happened to Julian. Yeah. All right, J-Dog, I'll talk to you later.
All right, peace.
All right, peace out. All right, 8:04 at the MJ Morning Show here on Q105, 104.7 FM. What are you snickering at?
Just listening to you say peace out. It's funny. Peace
What
out.
is this, the 70s?
Peace out, J-Dog.
Can I mention a driving observation quickly?
Sure. No.
And I've meant.
What do you mean, no?
Michelle hates when I talk about driving and traffic on the show. I just want to point something out. I see it every morning. People continuously do this. If you're on, and my example is Howard Franklin Bridge, because I'm on the Howard every morning coming to work to the studio.
So this is personal to you?
No, it's just an observation, but this affects, hundreds of thousands of people. If you're on 275 South, you're leaving the West Shore District. You're getting onto the Howard Franklin Bridge toward St. Petersburg. Howard Franklin, 275. We're on the new bridge now. And, of course, you have that extended curve where the road does the S-turns. It's a solid white line for, I don't know, half a mile or so? The S-turns, solid white line. S-turns like a snake.
Yeah.
A solid white line, you don't change lanes. And I see people changing lanes all the time. Don't change lanes in the S-turns. Stay in the lane until it becomes a dotted lane. And that's what's causing accidents. If people are changing lanes in those S-turns. That's it. I just wanted to just a quick little mention. I'm in and out on it.
Man, you picked the craziest rules to just decide to follow.
I tell you what, man.
And call other people out on.
That's really the best place to change lanes because you have to turn your wheel like not at all because the lane just moves on you.
The lane adjusts for you, Fester. Yeah, that's how some people are seeing it. Oh, this is my new lane.
It's like I'm living in 2050. It's really, really next level stuff. I kind of like it.
All right. What is something that you were told or learned as a kid or maybe as an adult that was completely erroneous?
Oh, dude, don't get me started.
All right. Think about this for a second. This is interesting. I'm going to go to phones on this. So what is something that you were told as a kid, maybe as a teenager, maybe as an adult, and you believed it, and it was totally freaking erroneous? I had a flashback. This is where this is coming from. So the temperature's now, I don't know, 92, 93 degrees. The humidity is here. It's not even officially summer. Got some hot days. So I'm out doing my walk. And you know what? I usually don't bring water with me. And I know that because I don't really have, I wear my weighted vest, but I don't have like a backpack and I don't have a camel back. And I'm fine. I can go do a, 3-5 mile walk, even in blazing sun.
And not have to have a drink.
I don't have to have a drink, right? But I was a little thirsty the other day, and this dawned on me, and I'm like, oh my God. You know when you have a flashback and suddenly something you haven't thought about for 30 years, 20 years, 40, whatever. I had a flashback, and I had a camp counselor that told me and all the other campers the most erroneous crap. And for whatever reason, this just came flying back. So I went to summer camp for a number of years as a kid up in New York State. And, we used to go on hikes and we had those canteens. Remember the camp canteens, like the metal canteens?
The round ones with the little screw top?
Yeah. Well, some looked like, like Army water bottles. Some looked like, they were like round, like Frisbee shaped or like landmines, you know. So you had different types of canteens. Mm-hmm. I remember this memory came rushing back the other day that we'd be out, 90-degree days, hot sunshine, up in the Catskills. We're on a big hike. And I had a counselor that told us don't swallow the water. You know, we're thirsty as hell. Our canteens are filled. And this counselor was telling all of the campers, nope, when you're thirsty, you don't drink the water. You just swish it around and spit it out.
Doesn't sound right.
Well, but we all believed him. And he would yell at us if we drank the water. He yelled at us. We had to swish the water in our mouth and then spit it out. It's like, no, you drink the water to replace the body fluids, the sweat that leaves your body. You have to replenish. You have to hydrate. So that was just erroneous, total BS. And we believed that. And, of course, as I got older, I knew that is completely bogus. No, you need to drink the water to replace the fluids that you've lost through sweating because it's hot as monkey, out there.
Was there maybe another reason?
No.
Where did the water come from?
Yeah, I mean, was it like creek water or something? And
Yeah.
We filled our canteens in the water fountain at the camp or in the sink before we left the bunk.
Yeah.
But this dope... This imbecile was telling these kids, where the blazing hot sun hiking for hours.
Yeah.
Nope, you can't drink the water. You got to swish it around. Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know.
I bet you this guy's probably dead. He probably
maybe
he died of dehydration.
That's what I'm thinking. That's exactly what I was about to say.
I can't drink it.
So
just swish it around.
I want to go to phones on this. I want to grab calls. Was there something you were told as a kid or a teenager, even as an adult?
Yeah.
That somebody swore by something that, this was a fact, and maybe you believed it, or maybe you quickly discovered that this is completely erroneous. I thought it would be interesting to see if we can get some phone calls. Anyone listening, you just heard my story, which is completely bogus. Of course you need to drink the freaking water to hydrate yourself. Do you have any other story about something you were told that was just completely wrong?
Yeah.
Completely not even connected remotely to reality. All right, 800-990-1047. Fester's snickering. It's almost like you have a story.
I specifically remember something that fell into this category.
All right, hold on to that thought.
Me too.
Both of you. Oh, this is great. All right, 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. What were you once told or taught that was completely erroneous? I mean, a complete 180 from reality. All right, 800-990-1047. That's how you get in. I'd love to hear your story, and these could be all over the road, which I think will be great. All right, Michelle, you first. What do you remember?
You can't get pregnant the first time you do it.
Oh, jeez.
Wow. Who told you
All
that?
right, let's go right. Who told you that?
I don't know.
Was that your friend Lori?
Maybe. I mean, whoever was around, you're like, people trying to convince you to do stuff, and you're like, no. And they're like, you can't get pregnant. And it's like, well, that might not be the only thing I'm worried about.
I thought that was like recidivist Lori or whatever her name was. Yeah. All right, Fester, what is your story? Oh, look at the phones. Every line is ringing. Let me put some of these on hold.
The more I think about it, maybe the guy was right. Because Father O'Shaughnessy told me that certain activities would make you go blind. And I just recently got my first pair of readers.
Are you making this up? Hold on, is it really a Father O'Shaughnessy?
It was. He's probably dead now. There was a Father O'Shaughnessy. He's like, you watch out there, boys. It's a sin, and the Lord will strike you with blindness if you keep that up, boys.
Out on Long Island?
And they're like, oh my God.
How old are you when Father O'Shaughnessy was telling you this?
7.
12? 11? Yeah. Oh, boys, you watch it now because it's a sin to the Lord, and he'll strike you blind if he catches you. And he sees everything, boys. You want to watch out, it'll make you go blind. And I'm like, oh my God. And then at age 50, I'm like, Allison, I think I need readers.
Oh, yeah. Father O'Shaughnessy was right. I'm going blind. Oh, my God. I can't see. I mean,
Jesus is playing the long game with me.
All right, let's go to phones. What happened to Katrina? Katrina, you were the first call. Katrina, I was just picking you up and you dropped.
We scared her.
We scared Katrina. Come on. Katrina, call us back.
Yeah. Follow that.
All right, let me grab. Oh, Crazy Dave in Largo, man. We haven't heard from Crazy Dave in a long time.
He texts me 3 times a day.
Oh, he does?
Hey, hey, how you doing?
All right, we got Racy Stacy in Largo and Crazy Dave in Largo. You guys ought to get together. All right, Crazy Dave.
Hey, well, no, I'm married. My wife might not appreciate
Dave,
that.
as a social visit, not a get-together, you weirdo.
Okay.
What's the story, Dave? What do you have for us?
All right. Well, when I was in Holy Family grade school in Watertown, New York,
right,
I had a gym teacher who, and we had a uniform that we had to wear, which included dark colored socks and the dark.
Yeah, you had to dress out for gym.
Yeah, we had to change into specific gym clothes.
Yep.
And our gym teacher always insisted that we wear white socks. We had to wear white socks because in his mind, he said that white socks prevented bacteria growth. He said that dark socks caused bacteria to, and he used this word, fester. Dark socks will make bacteria, fester in your feet and everything. And so we had to wear white socks. He would dock us. We'd get less points, lower grade in gym that day if we didn't wear our white socks.
Thank you, Mark, or Crazy Dave. I appreciate it.
Thanks, Dave.
Let me grab Mark is next. That was Crazy Dave. This is Mark in Nashville. Mark, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, morning, MJ.
Hey.
I was calling. I got a similar story to yours, and I don't know how anyone didn't die, but I graduated from Lato High School. I live in Nashville now, but I graduated there in '82.
Yep.
And we used to have 2-a-day practices in Florida's hot sun, and we could only have ice chips. And the coach, everybody was, it was horrible because if I could just had water, it would have been great. Everybody was dying. So I played baseball, too, and I decided, baseball, we had big coolers full of ice water, Gatorade, everything.
So this was Lato High School in the early 80s, and the coach would not let you drink water? You could only suck on ice chips?
In 2-a-day practices in the summertime.
That guy would be brought up on charges today.
Seriously.
That's a true story. And I quit because I love playing football, but I was thirsty the whole time. This is killing me. So I finally... I'm surprised nobody dropped dead, honestly.
Maybe they did. Maybe. So I wonder when the ice chip policy, you can't drink any water at Lato High School. That is insane. Yeah. Mark, this is exactly the story I'm looking for.
They thought that too much water would make you sick to your stomach or something like that. That was the way it was back then. It was the strangest thing.
Wow. All right, Mark, good story, buddy. Thank you. Let me grab Jennifer in Tampa. Jennifer, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi.
Hey.
I can't believe I got through. I've been listening since 1999, and I finally got through.
Oh, Jennifer, thank you very much. I appreciate you listening to the MJ Morning Show. Go ahead.
Yes. Floridian. I grew up in Miami, Florida, and I lived with my grandparents when I was little. My grandfather was in the Navy, and whenever I would open up the freezer and just stare at it, he would holler, "It's going to blow! Close the freezer!"
It's going to blow?
It's going to blow up. It's going to explode.
Wait, so what was this rationale of opening the freezer to get something out and it was going to blow up?
I don't know. I was 4 or 5, and maybe he just wanted to save on electricity. I don't know, but it was really scary when I was a toddler.
But her whole life she thought that the refrigerator or freezer was going to blow.
Right.
She doesn't even open up her freezer today.
Nope.
She's afraid of a big explosion.
Non-perishables only.
Yeah. All right. So, Jennifer, at what age did you finally find out that your freezer was not going to blow up if you opened the door?
I think it was obviously when I was older, obviously teenager, because I would sit there and look at it and knew it wasn't going to blow up.
Jennifer, and did your grandfather pass from an appliance explosion by any chance?
No, he didn't.
Okay. All right, Jennifer, thanks for calling in and thanks for getting in.
Okay, bye.
Look at that. First time. Listening for, 26 years and finally got in. All right, Travis in Clearwater. Hey, if you're just tuning in, I told the story about a camp counselor when I was 7, 8 years old. We'd go out on long hikes, hot days, and we were not allowed to drink the water in our canteens. We had to just swish it in our mouth and spit it out. And he's like, you never drink water. You only swish it and spit it out. I'm like, what the hell? I mean, totally erroneous, totally bogus. So I'm asking people to call up because that story just like came rushing back. I had one of those memories that I haven't thought about in 40 years. And suddenly it just hit me the other day. That's why we're taking calls. You know, what have you been told? What erroneous crap were you once told? Travis in Clearwater. Travis, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hey, good morning, MJ. So let me start off by saying I am a millennial. All right, I'm 32 years old, and I grew up. My parents told me that when I was riding in the backseat of the car, that it was illegal for me to turn on like the overhead dome light, like the interior car light. That we would get pulled over, and the police would give us tickets if we were caught driving with that interior dome light on.
Dude, I tell my kids that too. They would turn the back. We have like not a dome light, but like the lights are like over the door, and the kid will turn them on so it illuminates their corner. I'm like, shut that off. It's illegal to have that light on. I've said that to my kids.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
So my dad never said it was illegal. My dad used to throw a hissy fit that he can't see the glare. I can't see the road.
Yeah.
I'm swerving all over the place. Oh, my God. Holy crap. You little snitch. Son of a bitch.
You know what's crazy is I believed that, I mean, I was driving. I probably believed that until I was, I don't know, maybe 20 years old. I genuinely thought that is against the law. That's a crime. You can't do that.
Thank you for the call. Oh, Michelle, Chloe just texted me.
Yeah.
Little girl.
Yeah.
Oh, all right, hang on. I'll tell that story in a minute. Nick is in St. Pete. Nick, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Morning.
Hey, what's up?
Nothing much. So I used to play football growing up, and after you would take your lap or whatever, everybody would like bending over, breathing, and then the coach would go, everybody stand up, the air's up, and the good air is when you're standing up. Where's the facts on if there's good air at the bottom of the ground or the top? Doesn't make sense to me.
Good air.
Nick, thanks for the call.
He's right.
Jackie in St. Pete. Jackie, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Hi.
Hey.
Hey.
So when I was little, when we would have a picnic or something, my mother told me that we couldn't get in the swimming pool for an hour after we ate.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, the whole deal. You had lunch. You had grilled cheese sandwich and some potato chips. If you get back in the pool, you're going to drown.
Yeah. An hour. An hour
Yeah,
was
I
the
think
universal
they
time.
said something like you'll get cramps or something
Yeah,
like that.
oh.
You can't go in the pool for an hour.
I remember the same damn thing when I was little as well. Yeah, that's just erroneous. Anyway, thank you, Jackie. I appreciate it.
Bye.
All right, Adam and let me grab Adam, Ronaldo, and Derek. 3 more calls, and then I got to move on. Man, this turned into a successful segment. Adam and Trinity, MJ Morning Show. You're up. Hi.
All right, MJ, I got a good one for you. I have twin little sisters that are 8 years younger than me, and when they were growing up, I told them that chocolate milk came from black cows. And they believed me until about one day they came home from school in 3rd grade, and they were so pissed because they had told their teacher that, they told the teacher she was wrong, that chocolate milk came from black cows, and they still to this day bring it up to me.
Or brown cows.
Brown cows, yeah. Right? That's funny.
All right, thank you, man. Ronaldo in St. Pete. Ronaldo, MJ Morning Show, you're up. Oh, I'm sorry. It's Rolando.
Rolando, thank you for getting that correctly. Yeah. Thank you.
You bet. Go ahead, Rolando.
Listener.
Thank you.
Been listening to you forever, man. Love you guys. Listen to you every morning.
Thanks.
All the things you guys been saying are great. I'm almost 69 years old, born in Cuba. The biggest one that really got me was when you eat lunch or something, you have to wait an hour before you get a haircut. Now, tell me that's not crazy.
Oh, hold on. Whoa. If you eat, you have to wait an hour to get a haircut after lunch?
I'm going to get a haircut today. My father and my mother would tell me, you cannot eat anything an hour before you go get a haircut. Just like going to the pool, same crap.
For what reason?
Because they said you would get cramps if you got a haircut after you ate. Now, tell me that's not crazy. You know when I stopped believing this? Not that long ago. I've been talking to some of my friends, Cuban friends and stuff. They same thing.
Yeah, you were 60 years old when you figured that out.
Did your Cuban friends hear
Almost 60 years old. It took me a while, buddy.
Wow.
Did your friends hear it as well, or is it just you?
Yeah, no. Some of the older Cubans have told me the same thing.
See, like some things get into like the lore of a culture where everybody just believes
culture,
it.
And we believe it. We believe it. I mean, what your parents are telling you something, you'll believe that stuff.
All right, Rolando, thank you, buddy. Thanks for listening.
Thank you so much, guys.
Yep.
Love you guys.
Thank you. All right, last call, Derek in Tampa. Derek, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
Hi, how you doing?
All right, it's Erroneous Wednesday on the MJ Morning Show. Go ahead.
It is. And, the other caller, people callers got my same thing about the pool and not going to swim for an hour after you eat and all that stuff there, man. And I believe that for a long time. And I said, oh, man, this is baloney.
Yeah, I eat in the pool.
So
I can believe that.
Yeah, Fester rolls out a whole. Fester's got like sandwich boards and charcuterie platters.
All
And
right, you're making jokes, dude. You're making jokes right now, but I have a pool noodle that I can fit a pub sub in, and it's fantastic.
Fester.
Oh man, Fester has a buffet on a pool raft.
Yeah.
It's pool raft buffet for Fester. All right, 8:24 at the MJ Morning Show. Chloe just texted me, and hang on, let me.
Yo, what warped memory did we conjure up in her this morning?
Little girl.
I thought it was going to be something else.
Hey, Chloe.
Hey.
So you're calling about little girl?
Yeah.
All right, what happened,
All
Chloe?
right, tell the story quickly. 30 seconds. Go.
Well, you know it better than I, but I just vaguely remember everywhere I would go when I was little, I would hear this man coming from out of the corner, somewhere in the room, down a hallway, and I, of course, was a misbehaving child sometimes, and I would hear, little girl, stop running. And this guy followed me everywhere. Everywhere I went.
So it was me. So I
you want me to tell you where that came from?
From the furniture store.
No.
Where was it originally?
When we did our New England trip, we stayed at this like really rickety old kind of spooky one-off in Maine.
A bed and breakfast in Maine. That's right. And Chloe was like maybe...
Julian was just born, so she was just 3.
3-4 years, whatever it was. And that's right. So
and they had an innkeeper, and he was tall and skinny, and kind of creepy looking, like
a mortician.
Yeah,
like a funeral home old creepy guy at this. And we checked in,
and she was. You could see that she was like instantly affected by his appearance.
Yeah,
right?
look at
so
this guy.
I was like, all right, whatever. But then we were in the room, and little kids get in the room. They've been riding the car for 8 hours, whatever. This one's making them drive for I don't know, days on end.
Right.
And so the kids start to like act up a little bit, and I go, oh, that man at the front desk is going to be coming around. But then here's the thing. It was like this old inn, so the floor would creak when people would walk by outside. And so I'd go, here he comes. And the kids would like get really quiet. Chloe, not the kids, because Julian was a baby.
Then I started doing the voice.
Right? Because then when she would turn her back, you would go, little girl, stop jumping on the bed. And she would immediately think he was like
watching.
Right,
watching.
watching.
Some creepy voyeur.
So then it turned into wherever we were, like in a store. I remember we were furniture shopping when we built our new house in South Tampa, and we were furniture shopping. What was that place? Design Interiors in Ybor. They're gone now. But I used to Chloe be running around the furniture store while we're trying to pick out a couch or a chair, and I would just get out of eyesight, and I would go, little girl, stop running in my furniture store. Behave yourself, little girl. And I think you believed that until you were what, like 10?
Yeah. Like, he followed me everywhere, and I was just convinced that, this man was a thing for all little kids, and I just thought he was going to get me.
Yep. Why is this guy following me everywhere?
From Maine.
Little girl, stop misbehaving.
He was on vacation with us all the time.
I mean, MJ, you've really underestimated the trauma.
He was in Italy.
I mean, this is the kind of crap that, kids go to therapy over. My entire childhood, a man stalked me relentlessly.
Little girl.
I really thought it was going to be the other thing that we told you.
What was that?
Do you remember? When we went to the dermatologist?
No. Oh my God!
And you actually repeated it to the She repeated it to the dermatologist.
I don't know what it is. Tell me.
What? So Todd and I have this thing about hot tubs. We do not do them. Right? They're just gross.
Oh yeah,
they're a festering cesspool of who knows what in there. But
festering
the kids,
stew of people stuff.
But Chloe always wanted to go in one, especially we'd go to the Little Cayman. They have one there.
Yeah.
And she wanted to go so badly and be like, no, you're going to get, you're going to get the skivvies, whatever. We'd call it something gross, scabies, I don't know. And so she couldn't stand it. And one day she walked by and I saw her. She stuck her foot in there. And so, but she already did have a little bit of eczema on her foot, but she didn't know that, right? But then we come home and then the eczema's there and the eczema's there. So I'm like, well, you stuck your foot in that hot tub, so that's how you got this. So I take her to the dermatologist, and so the dermatologist is asking her, and so when did this happen? And she literally looks at her and goes, I stuck my foot in a hot tub, and so now I've got the scabies or whatever. And the dermatologist is looking at her, and I see this look on the face, and I'm like, okay, excuse me, can I speak with you outside for a minute? And so I have to take the doctor outside, and I'm like, listen, we just told her that to keep her out of the hot tub. Whatever you're going to diagnose her with is absolutely not like because of what happened with her foot in a hot tub.
That's funny stuff. All right, Chloe, have a nice day at work. You got to be there in 1 minute and 10 seconds. Goodbye.
Bye.
All right.
Is she running late?
She works for the state. No, she's on her cell phone.
Sounds like she's lollygagging on her way.
She's supposed to be there, what, by 8:30? Is that like start time?
Yeah, she got her computer on.
She's a short timer in that office, right?
She, what is today? Today is May 28th, and I think Chloe is leaving in July to have a little bit of time off before she goes to law school. And again, we're, can we say like what right now?
No.
Is it the final school? Have you picked one, or
No.
is it like down to 3?
Well,
is it down to 5?
I don't want to say anything out of turn. So, Michelle?
No, we're just waiting on some wait lists. That's all.
Yeah, well, that's what I wanted to say, but I didn't know whether you were going to
we got
bite
some
my
things.
face off.
Look, we're just working on things still.
So has the University of Phoenix accepted her?
They're at the top. We deposits done. Already have an apartment near there.
Yeah. Also, one of the other top choices is the DeVry Institute of Law.
Yeah. Oh, I hear ITT Tech is getting into all those TV universities.
All right. So there's a story that I saw on multiple local news channels. Oh, my God. A plane heading to Denver from Tampa was possibly struck by lightning. Oh, my God. I can't believe a plane possibly struck by lightning. Do you know how often planes are struck by lightning? Racing through the electrified clouds, the electrostatic. Do you know how? Seriously, there's a stat on this. So the story, this happened. I saw this on a couple of different sites. This happens to be from Channel 8. A plane heading to Denver from Tampa possibly was struck by lightning on Sunday. Video footage from the plane showed the tarmac, call it the ramp, with numerous emergency vehicles. On May 25th, Flight 168 from Tampa International Airport to Denver sustained a possible lightning strike while inbound to Denver and landed safely. Our maintenance teams took the aircraft out of service for inspection. No injuries, according to a Southwest airline. You know what that was? That was God telling Southwest, don't charge for luggage.
Yeah, he's not happy about that.
Don't charge for bags, which goes into effect today on Southwest. $35 for the first bag, $40 for the second bag. All right, folks, it is so common for airplanes. Do you know how often? So any airplane, and we've got thousands and thousands and thousands of planes, Delta, United, American, Frontier, Southwest, Spirit, Allegiant, Sun Country. We have tons of. Do you know how often a commercial aircraft, how often is a commercial aircraft struck by lightning?
Once a day.
Oh, I'm sure that's the case, but...
I thought you were asking the question. I thought this was a quiz.
I thought we were going to come up with some fake numbers.
No, hold on. No,
What's your guess, Fester?
Delta, what does Delta have? Delta has what, 1,100 planes? Delta's planes. I would guess Delta has 1,100 planes.
Okay.
Type in size of Delta's fleet. Just size of Delta's fleet. How many planes does Delta have? I'm going to say 1,100. What do they have?
986.
Okay. 986 planes in Delta's fleet. On average, you take any single airplane, 737, an Airbus 320. You take any given airplane, a commercial flight is struck on average of once or twice a year. So every single plane is typically struck up to twice or maybe more per year. And the planes are designed to withstand the lightning strike. I mean, it's just a common instance. Lightning, thunder, lightning. Then you hate when I do that, right?
No, a lot of people hate when you do that.
I was lightning before the
thunder. Who's that lady that does that? Thunder. Anyway,
You should let her do it.
I should.
All right, so hold on.
Yes.
Delta has 985. They lost that flight in Toronto that rolled over.
Oh, the CRJ that flipped over on its roof.
So 986 was
the wing snapped off and everything.
That was pre-Toronto rollover numbers.
All right,
I think you were way high.
What?
What did you say?
I
said 1,100.
I
said
guess
1,100.
I guess that Delta had 1,100 planes. They've got 986.
985.
All right, whatever. All right, what is one of the filthiest things you touch every day? This is a lot of folks might not guess this.
All right, so I am skeeved out, and I have been since COVID, about gas nozzles.
You know what? I have read on numerous occasions that random swabbings on gas nozzles, you know, the handle when you take the gas pump out of the holder at the gas station, I've seen numerous stories that those gas handles surprisingly are nowhere near as dirty as you would imagine.
Because I've seen some pretty disgusting people at the gas station that I would want nothing to do with. But there I am right after they pull out,
they're
touching
like,
the same things they touched.
They're like walking germs and viruses and boils. And, yes, like just snot heads.
Snot heads.
All right, so listen, if you go to Google, just type in, are gas nozzle handles dirty? I'm telling you that I've read numerous things over the years, and one, I think, within the last couple of years, that a test was done swabbing random gas pump handles, and they are nowhere near as dirty as you'd expect.
Oh, you're full of crap. According to a recent study, gas pump handles are shown to be 11,000 times more contaminated with bacteria than a toilet seat.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, I read a story that they did swabbings all over the place, and the gas pump handle was one of the least dirty things they tested.
I asked the question, are gas nozzle handles dirty? First response, the AI overview. Yes, gas pump handles are generally considered to be dirty and can harbor a significant amount of germs and bacteria. They're not washed in the gas, MJ. They're just touched by a bunch of creeps, including myself.
I'm telling you right now that I've read numerous stories that the gas pump handle, which you would think is filthy, is don't touch it. Let me grab this.
All right.
I'm telling you, go a little further down. How dirty? Well, yes, Michelle.
Researchers have found that gas pump handles turned out to be the filthiest surfaces we encounter.
I mean, every time I get gas, I always think I'm going to do something about it, like carry a can of Lysol, but I never do. I'm like, oh, great.
Yep.
Yeah.
I carry wipes, and that's the minute I get back in the car, I wipe my hands, and then I take that opportunity to do everything. I do the steering wheel. I do the.
I have a buddy who carries rubber gloves in his little side door.
MJ's mom does.
Does she?
Yeah. That's where I first realized how dirty the gas pump is, because I saw her get out and put a glove on. I was laughing hysterically at her. This is like I was 20.
Your mother carries gloves? You never told us this?
And I said, I said, oh my gosh, you put on gloves to pump the gas. And she goes, you know, those men come over here and after they've gone to the bathroom and they touch their pee-pee, then they go over there and pump the gas. And I was like, oh, that's really gross. I get that.
All right. So now that you type that in, yes, a whole bunch of stories coming up that gas pump handles, top study of filthy surfaces. But I'm telling you, I've read numerous things where
The Onion? The joke website?
I'm telling you that I read a couple of things where the gas pump handle was nowhere near as dirty as other surfaces.
Okay,
anyway,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
So,
yeah. We have a gas nozzle and MJ's ass. We'll be taking swabs from both.
I don't even know what you're saying.
Both are very gassy.
Can I get to the point of this discussion, please? The point is that the first thing you touch every day is filthier than your toilet. So it's not the first thing, but it's one of the first things that you touch every day is filthy, apparently, and you never clean this. Let's see if people can guess. One of the first things you touch every single day, and it's filthy and you never clean it. Does anyone have any idea? Let's go. 800-990-1047. Can you guess? Let's go to the phones. 800-990-1047. What is filthy? You touch it. One of the first things every day, and you never clean this item. What is it? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. What item do you think it is? All right, Andrew, screen calls as quickly as you possibly can. Fester, Michelle, do you guys have any guesses?
I mean, I probably could come up with a couple, but now you're asking for calls. I don't want to. I mean, is it super obvious?
I don't want to ruin it for the.
You know what? It's
callers.
not as obvious as you would think, because once I say it, Fester's like gesturing and pointing to an object.
Is that the answer? Because that's the answer. It's pretty obvious.
That is not the answer.
Okay.
I got one.
Yeah, that is not the answer. So I wonder if people are going to guess this. Let me start with Scott and Brandon. Phones are all ringing. Scott and Brandon, you're up. What do you think it is?
MJ, I'm going to go with toothbrush.
The toothbrush. I think that's a good guess, but that is not what I'm looking for.
That was my guess.
Yeah, Scott, that was Michelle's guess. She starts making his hand gesture, and I'm like, listen, please, stop.
Right, yeah.
That is a very good guess. Scott.
Your mouth bacteria.
Yep.
So, all right.
Scott, thank you.
Have a good day, guys.
Bye-bye. All right.
Yeah. Michelle is pantomiming to me toothbrush, and I'm like, Michelle, stop it.
Wendy's in Clearwater. What is one of the first things you touch every day? It's filthy, and nobody cleans this.
I am thinking the toilet bowl handle.
Good guess.
You know what? She's right.
But incorrect.
But I also heard debit cards too.
Yeah, I would think that's a
Yeah, I never wipe my credit card
That's
down.
not the first thing I touched.
You know what? The fact that you said toilet handle, I'm going to tell you right now, and this is gross. In the men's room, here at Beasley Media Group, we've got a couple of toilet handles in the men's room that still have stains and material stuck on the handle for years now. Yeah, I mean, why the hell why are the cleaning crews not using like an industrial cleaner to clean the handles? I never touch the handles.
Dude, it's so gross the cleaning crew doesn't want to touch it.
Yeah. All right. Thank you, Wendy. I appreciate it, but incorrect. I wonder if someone's going to get this. Paul in Tampa, what is one of the first things you touch every day, and it is a filthy surface, and nobody cleans it?
Your cell phone.
You know what? That was Fester's guess. He pointed to a cell phone. They say that cell phones can be filthy, the screens, the cases, but it's incorrect. That's not what I'm looking for. Cell phone is very obvious, very good guess, but not what I'm looking for. Thank you. Jennifer, Wesley Chapel, what do you think it is?
Remote control.
You know what? That's another very good guess, but
I didn't get it.
it is incorrect. I'm telling you, people might not get this. And once I say it, you're going to go like, oh, yeah.
I mean, one of the first things I touch in the morning?
It's one of the first things you touch during the day. So it's not the first, but it's one of the first things you touch every single day.
I mean, is it your shoes?
Nope. Stop guessing. Let the callers guess. Oh, all right, Stephen in Lakeland. Stephen, you're on the MJ Morning Show. Hi.
I was going to say maybe like a clock radio.
Nope.
Turn off the alarm.
Nope. It is not the clock radio. Thanks for the guess. Heather in Weeki Watchy. Heather, what do you think it is?
Doorknobs.
Good guess, but not correct. I'm going to have to give it away in a minute here. Joe in Bradenton. Joe, what do you think it is, buddy?
Good morning, MJ.
Hey.
It's the doorknob.
It is not. Two guesses in a row. Paul in Plant City. Paul, what do you think it is?
Your glasses.
No. Although I have another item about cleaning behind your ears that a lot of people don't clean behind their ears. And, if you're wearing glasses, the glasses are sitting behind your ears. Incorrect. Joe in Newport Richey. Now, I'm not saying that these surfaces that people are talking about are not dirty, but there's one particular surface that I'm referring to. Joe, Newport Richey, go ahead. Joe.
I don't know if anybody said it yet, but I'm going with
I'm going with toothbrush.
No, that was already a guess, but listen, it's a good.
Going with toothbrush.
Yeah, good guess, but incorrect. All right, thank you. Bernie in Tampa. All right, listen, every line keeps filling up here. Bernie in Tampa, go ahead.
MJ.
Yep.
Hey, MJ morning. How you doing?
Good morning. What do you think it is?
My wallet.
You know what? Good guess, but it is not
My
the
wallet.
Yeah. No. Good guess, but incorrect. Bill in Largo. When am I going to stop this? Every line. Once I hang up on somebody, it's getting filled up again. Bill in Largo, and no one's guessing the filthy item that people touch every single day. One of the first things, and nobody ever cleans this. Bill, go ahead. What is your guess in Largo?
MJ, I'm going to go with the refrigerator handle.
You know what? Good guess, but not what I'm looking for, but that's probably a filthy spot. Chad in Lakeland. I got to end this.
Seriously.
Hey, Andrew, hey, Chad. I'm taking Chad, Tammy, Jerry, Penny. That's it.
I'm literally ready to punch myself in the face.
All right, Chad, what do you think it is?
I'm going with the light switch.
Light switch is a good guess.
Oh, but it's not the one thing I have on my sheet.
Not it. Tammy and Wesley Chapel. Tammy, go ahead.
I think I got it.
All right.
What?
The wand to open your blinds.
The wand to open your blinds. The little twisty thing?
Yeah, the twisty thing, because I open my blinds every morning, first thing. I never clean it.
Tammy, that is absolutely wrong.
Yeah, wrong. Absolutely wrong, Tammy.
Wrong.
I mean, she's right, but it's not the one thing MJ has on his list.
Thank you. Jerry in Tampa, then Penny, and we're done. And then I'll just reveal it. Jerry, what do you think it is?
A big wild guess, but I'm going to say your privates.
They're privates.
I don't know why it's such a big guess, Jerry.
Jerry, it is not correct. Last call on this. Every line is still ringing. Penny in Lakeland. The final guess. What item do people touch? One of the first things every day. It is filthy and nobody cleans this. Do you know what it is?
I think it's your steering wheel.
Holy crap. The last caller got it. That is it.
Yep.
It is. How'd you know that? Did you see the story as well or no?
No, I had no clue. I just know I get in my car every single day, and I do not clean my steering wheel.
Yeah, it is 100% right. The last call I designated gets it. Penny in Lakeland, your steering wheel apparently is filthy. And when is the last time you cleaned your steering wheel on your car?
Yeah, never. I changed the steering wheel cover, but I've never cleaned it.
Yeah, it sits there for 5 years just collecting mung.
Yep.
I do it when I pump the gas, like I just said. I pump the gas, I use the wipe for my hands, and then I wipe all the things I touch, the buttons, the gear shift, and then I wipe the steering wheel with the wipe.
Now, you're even more of a germaphobe than I am.
I am.
All right, Penny, good guess. Thank you.
Thank you, guys. Love y'all.
Have a good one. Look at that. Love you, too. Last caller. What, I take 20 freaking phone calls?
And they were all pretty good guesses,
Yeah.
I mean, except for Jerry's privates. Yeah. The rest of them had a lot of thought put into them.
Just Jerry's privates, not our own.
Jerry's wang.
Oh, here's a big guess.
Oh, speaking of wang.
Oh, we are?
Yeah.
That's what we're talking about?
Are you going to see Wang tonight?
No.
You're not going?
No.
I thought you were going to go.
No.
Who's Wang?
Hold on. Why are you giving me like...
Because we're not... No, I have a graduation to go to, and then I'm coming home.
Do you want me to take you to see Wang tonight?
No.
You want to see Wang tonight?
No.
You sure?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you angry at me for asking?
Who's Wang? Hey, Wang.
Hold on. Oh,
That
God.
one.
It's a parking lot.
That one.
I'm going to get yelled at. I will go ahead and say it. Go ahead.
No.
Why not?
There's nothing to say.
Who's Wang? Is Wang a person or a thing?
It is tonight, right?
Yeah.
Is Wang Chung in town and I don't know this?
Michelle?
Yeah.
Wang Chung's in town?
Yeah.
Shut up. Really?
Hold on. Am I going to get yelled at on the way home for some reason?
Maybe. I don't know.
Did I do something wrong?
Maybe. I don't know.
What did I do wrong?
Nothing.
All right. So what is it? Who's?
I don't know because I texted it to Julian and he didn't want to take you up on the situation you had going on. So
your son doesn't
you're
want
out
to
of
see
here.
Wangs either?
Right.
All right. So
Kinda makes me feel better.
Who is it? It's Rick Springfield.
Is there a concert that you're being secretive about?
Yeah,
it's super secret.
No, it's not secret. I guess at Ruth Eckerd Hall tonight.
Right.
It's Rick Springfield.
Right.
It's part of the I Want My 80s tour. If you want me to take you, I'm happy to take you, Michelle.
What's the deal? Why aren't you talking more about this Wang?
Hold on. Why are you clamming up?
I'm not. I'm just. We have other plans. We have other things that we're obligated to do.
Okay,
I said that. I think I said it 3 times.
But you said it like this.
Because I just wanted to make you happy. If you wanted to go, I'll take you.
Rick Springfield, John Waite, Wang Chung.
That's the Wang.
Paul Young and John Cafferty.
That's the Wang I'm talking about. How can I pass up, Wang? Wang's in town. Everybody have fun tonight. Hey, Michelle.
Yeah.
Have you ever heard of this? The ingredient that people are going to be putting in their summer wine this summer?
Yeah, I saw that.
All right, what the hell is this?
I'm all over that for you this weekend.
All right, hold on a minute. Are you going to be doing this to your wine glass this
Why not?
summer?
Let's try it out.
Okay, hold on. Is it like an additive or like a fruit or something to make it more summery of a beverage?
I don't
know if it's going to make it more summery.
This sounds disgusting.
Well, you put a shot of whiskey in your wine and you get to where you're going a little faster?
Who the hell came up with this? Well, I don't know whether it's Southern Living, but Southern Living, which, by the way, I like southernliving.com. Why? Because, Michelle, why would I like southernliving.com?
Because you're into Southern Bells?
No, come on.
They had a great peach cobbler recipe.
Yeah.
Why would I like southernliving.com?
For their abundance of casserole recipes?
No, I hate casseroles.
Okay, why?
Casseroles make me angry. All right, come on, Southern Living.
You love the decor that's presented.
No!
Because when you have to reach something off the top shelf, you stack a bunch of Southern Living magazines and use it as a stool.
No. Michelle, what recipe do you have from Southern Living that I love and I beg you to make, and you torture me by making me wait a ridiculous amount of time in between the offering?
Oh, Michelle's famous Wang recipe.
All right, will you stop it with the Wang? Michelle, what is it?
Pancakes.
No, come on.
Is that where you get your biscuit recipe from?
Yes.
Yeah. I mean, it's a simple recipe.
Yeah.
Come on, people.
But the best biscuit recipe for Southern buttermilk biscuits is the famous Southern Living buttermilk biscuit recipe. And again, just 2 tips. You want to use white lily self-rising winter wheat flour. So you got to use white lily flour for Southern biscuits. And you have to use whole fat buttermilk. I mean, I don't understand that. You go to some stores and all they have is low-fat buttermilk. Michelle, who the hell wants low-fat buttermilk?
I don't know.
An a-hole. I mean, I don't even know why even add buttermilk? Just add regular milk.
Exactly. So you got to have full-fat buttermilk.
Yeah.
And also you say that you got to have you use frozen butter, right?
Yeah, you have to.
The frozen butter helps create the steam pockets,
well,
right?
I don't say it. Southern Living says it.
All right, whatever. All right. So according to Southern Living, this is going to be a big trend this summer. This sounds absolutely grotesque. So I love Southern Living for the biscuit recipe, but this might cancel them. Southern Living is saying that people are putting frozen jalapeno slices in their wine.
Tasty.
What?
It gives it a little spicy kick. Okay.
Frozen jalapeno slices in wine started on social media and quickly became a favorite drink to many? What? Michelle, does this even remotely appeal to you, putting a frozen jalapeno pepper slice in your wine?
I'm going to require that from now on.
Oh, jeez.
I mean, you'd have to like spicier things, but yeah.
How to make spicy wine this summer. Freeze your jalapeno slices. While it's not required, you can simply put room temperature jalapeno slices in a pinch. Slicing and freezing the jalapeno does double duty of making your wine colder and keeping it that way. Remove the seeds if you're concerned about spice. Choose your wine. It's recommended you pick a crisp, dry white wine such as a Sauvignon Blanc, Rosé. Oh, God.
So you steep the wine essentially in just the skin of the jalapenos and it gives it like an infusion taste.
That sounds disgusting. All right. Fester, you had something with Burlington Coat Factory, right? You want to address something?
something just kind of jumped out at me at Burlington Coat Factory.
Well, first, I don't think it's called Burlington Coat Factory. Isn't it just Burlington now?
I don't know.
You know what? It'll always be Burlington Coat Factory to me.
I mean, years and years and years, Burlington Coat Factory. Now you want me to call you something different?
Yeah. All right. So here's the deal. Fester made an observation at Burlington Coat Factory, and Fester wants to discuss it because I guess this really kind of tweaked Fester. All right. When we get back, the 9 o'clock. Oh, Dolly Parton has got a new line of what?
Everything, dude.
What is Dolly Parton selling now?
Her name is on everything in the grocery store. Have you walked the aisles of Publix and seen that many things?
I have not.
Dolly's face. If it's a cake product, I bet it's a cake or it's a dessert.
All right, hold on.
I don't know what it is.
Hold on.
She is everywhere.
Hold on to that thought. All right, that's
cornbread.
That's just scratching the surface. We got a whole hour to go. Don't move. We're back in minutes. MJ Morning Show here on Q105. Hey, I have, and I can't use the name. I don't want to violate any trust or privacy. But I hooked somebody up that I know personally with Veterans Ford, and man, they could not be more thrilled. A prominent individual, everyone knows who this individual is. They wanted a new Ford F-150, and I introduced them to management over at Veterans Ford, and they're thrilled. They picked up on Monday, they picked up a brand new F-150. They got the Ford employee pricing. They got the special MJ treatment, and you can get that too. When you go to Veterans Ford, mention you're an MJ Morning Show listener. Listen, they treat everyone great, but just tell them you're an MJ listener. You're going to love Veterans Ford. It's a family-run operation. That's what it feels like. Lorenzo's the general manager and the managing partner over there, and he just wants you to be happy. Get a great deal on any Ford car or truck right now before Ford employee pricing goes away. The clock is ticking on that. Best deals right now at Veterans Ford on your new Ford car, truck, or SUV. Their service department's fantastic, and they've got a great selection of pre-owned every make and model. It's Veterans Ford, Linebaugh, and the Veterans Expressway, and tell them that MJ sent you. When you're making a move, the last thing you want is to pick the wrong moving company because you don't need added stress. The worst thing that could happen on top of the normal ups and downs and, you're stressed out enough on a move is if you pick the bad moving company. And then the problem's compounded. It's already a stressful day, and then you get some lousy mover. Maybe they lowballed you on a quote, and then they want to try to charge you more. I mean, that happens every single day. Or you get a moving company that they don't background check their individuals, or they're not trained. They're scratching your furniture. They're throwing your boxes around. You hear crashing noises. With two college brothers, you're going to get everything done right. You're going to get a great quote that they're going to stick to. You're going to get all your furniture wrapped in blankets. They're going to handle everything like it's their own mother's stuff. Get a great move. If it's you or someone you know, it's twocollegebrothers.com. Mention me, MJ, get free moving boxes. Twocollegebrothers.com, the smartest move you'll ever make. Traffic's on 856. MJ Morning Show back in minutes.
Traffic slow in St. Pete this morning. There's delays southbound 275 near Gandy, and there's an accident northbound 275 near 38th Avenue North. The bridges look good. There's slow traffic westbound I-4 getting into downtown Tampa, and you'll see construction delays near 301 and Boyette. Traffic brought to you by the Aggressive Attorneys, Winters and Younger. I'm Kathy Davis on Q105.
Skip the hassles of a traditional home sale and sell your home stress-free with a guaranteed offer from Mark Spain Real Estate. Go to markspain.com to get a guaranteed offer on your home today and start packing.
Get the dirt out before school's out and call Zero Res right now. Get 3 rooms of carpet cleaned for just $119. Make sure you mention me, MJ, to secure this deal today. You can book online at ZeroResTampaBay.com.
Hey, it's Brett.
Flying helicopters in Tampa this week. There's a reason. So low-flying helicopters, if you spot them in Tampa, here's what's going on. The government is going to be spraying chemicals. It's part of a mind control experiment. All right? So if you see...
Stop right there, dude. These conspiracy people are going to go crazy, man.
I know.
You stop it,
I'm
man.
kidding. It's just
not even funny to joke
about. It's Tico inspecting power lines, okay?
That's even dumber than the first
What
one.
What if someone turned me off, right? What if someone turned the radio off right after I
just got to work and shut the radio off after the guy said...
You got to hear what MJ just said, that low-flying helicopters are going to be spraying mind control, chemtrails.
Is it really Tico, or is that another stupid conspiracy
No,
theory?
it's Tico.
That sounds really outlandish.
Yeah, so this week, if you see low-flying helicopters, it's Tampa Electric conducting aerial observations of power lines to see if the power lines are in good shape. Yeah, so the helicopters will fly between 20 and 300 feet above the ground, according to the news release from Tico.
Where the hell are they going to be 20 feet off the ground?
Tico is surveying their entire 1,300-mile network of high-voltage power lines. And the inspections will take place along the urban and rural rights of way, where they have the rights of way or the easements where those, big power line trunks come through. So if you see the helicopters, they're not spraying chemicals, all right?
No mind control.
No mind control. They're just making sure what is, Fester, before we get into your Burlington Coat Factory deal,
right.
What is one of the funniest things? You sent me this story, and you were like, I love this definition.
I forget. What did I say? I sent you so much stuff.
Rapid unscheduled disassembly.
Rapid unscheduled disassembly. Well, it's a real term.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Michelle, do you know what rapid unscheduled disassembly is?
I would have no idea.
It's a SpaceX rocket exploding.
But instead of saying there was an explosion or a malfunction or whatever.
In rocket talk, a rapid unscheduled disassembly is the rocket failed and it blew up.
It's an extremely rapid disassembly.
Yeah, it's unscheduled.
Unscheduled.
It's like when you take an elaborate Lego toy and you just smash it on the ground and all the pieces fly all over the place.
A rapid unscheduled. That would be scheduled.
Yeah.
Because you're deliberately smashing the Lego.
Yeah.
So SpaceX launched, I guess, the 9th test launch of the Starship reusable rocket. And I guess it flew for a time.
And then it rapidly...
Yeah.
What? Not disintegrated. Disassembled.
SpaceX's massive Starship blasted off into the sky last night. 9th test flight. Following already back-to-back failures, the mission faltered in orbit and the ship burned up as it plunged back toward Earth. It is a 400-foot tall rocket ship, and it was launched from that star base in Texas.
It's a big rocket.
Yeah, it's a big freaking rocket. And I guess it flew for some time, and then it failed, re-entered. And did they push a button to blow it up?
Are all of the disassembled pieces that were unscheduled in the bottom of the Gulf of Mexico right now?
I think they might be over the Indian Ocean or something. All right, so rapid unscheduled disassembly. That is engineer space talk for the damn rocket blew up and it's in a jillion pieces.
So it made it from Texas to the Indian Ocean.
Yeah, I think it was up for 30 minutes or so. I mean, listen, this thing's flying fast.
It could have had debris fall over land. That would have been terrible.
I don't know. Maybe I just pulled that out of my butt.
It sounds right.
No. Before a scheduled... I think it was headed to the Indian Ocean. So I don't know where the hell...
Deliberately?
Yeah, hold on. The 400-foot tall ship launched from the company's Starbase facility in Texas just after 7:30 p.m. with the rocket aiming to deploy Starlink satellite simulators, a first for Starship, before a scheduled landing in the Indian Ocean. All right, so it was headed to the Indian Ocean. I don't think it blew up over the Indian Ocean. I don't think it got there that quickly. But again, when you know what? If you get into a car accident, just a rapid unscheduled disassembly
all over the place.
So if
I just saw that term and I'm like, what? Just say it blew up.
We've heard that before. That term has been used
Has
before. And yeah, I've laughed every time I heard that. All right. So if you're driving to work and some clod is texting on their cell phone or playing Candy Crush and they rear end you and your whole car bumper falls off, that's a rapid unscheduled disassembly. Because and then you call the Kemp Law Group. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law. All right, Fester, this disturbed you?
It's just an impression. It's an impression that it left on me that didn't make me feel right about anything.
Why were you in a Burlington coat factory, or now I think it's just Burlington? Oh, not affiliated with Burlington Industries. Go ahead.
No, they're not.
No.
I don't go to the store often. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I can't even think of the last time I've been there.
Which Burlington was this?
I had some time to kill, and I was in Wesley Chapel. Right?
Hold on. You're in Wesley Chapel with time to kill, and you decide to go into Burlington Coat Factory?
Hadley was doing something with one of her girlfriends, one of her kid friends, whatever.
What? Were they just walking around the mall area?
No, they were having like a pool party or something, and they lived a couple of miles away. I was gonna pick her up and I had the other one, Hudson, with me, and I took. And there's like,
hey Hudson, let's have fun at the Burlington Coat Factory in Wesley Chapel.
First of all, dude, I'll let my kid go into like a store like Burlington and play with every toy in the toy section and then leave them.
Yeah.
MJ, that's a good time.
Yeah.
First we walked into the Total Wine and More. And I bought 10 cigars.
Get your kid drunk.
Yeah, the kid's like, we want to touch every bottle, but don't touch anything. I'm just buying some cigars. And then right next door is the Burlington store.
So Fester walks into the Burlington Coat Factory and starts singing,
"That guy in a little coat, that guy in a little coat."
All right, go ahead.
And they have a loss prevention person at the front door.
Yep.
And he's wearing a bulletproof vest. And this kid is like 19 years old.
Yeah.
Probably weighs 120 pounds.
Festa took a picture of this thing and texted it to me.
I got a couple of pictures of this guy.
What were you, surreptitiously, like secretly trying to snap photos of the Burlington security guy? He's got a bulletproof vest on, like he's on a SWAT team,
and it's like he's graduating high school.
And
this
then
week.
it's got a patch across the front that says "Loss Prevention Officer." Right?
Who the hell is he going to stop? And what does Burlington have that's worth even getting grazed by a bullet for? I mean, you apply for this job. You're a young man. The old man says, "Time for you to get out in the real world, son. Get a job."
Yeah.
And you get it.
Burlington Coat Factory, we're more than great coats.
Yeah, apparently they're bulletproof vests. And this kid, and he's like, he have a good day, sir. And I'm like, you're wearing a bulletproof vest. Isn't this a bit much? And he says, I'm told to wear it. I have to wear it. I'm like, this is the worst job ever.
Oh my gosh.
And it's not like he has a gun to shoot back.
Yeah.
I mean, this kid weighs like 130 pounds, and he's taking his.
Well, he
civics
just
final.
gained weight. He was 110 just a few minutes ago.
This is a young, smaller boy man.
Do his parents know this is the job he has?
I mean, and would you let Julian have a job where he has to wear a bulletproof vest and be unarmed and stand in front of a department store?
No.
It's the worst job.
I'm going to take a bullet for this cocktail jacket.
Yeah. What if you walked up to this kid with an armful of clothes and says, move, I'm taking this. What is he going to do?
I'm sure the policy is that you just let him walk out.
Yeah.
A lot of stores, employees get fired if they try to stop. You've got an employee that's trying to serve the company well and stop theft, and companies will fire employees for like tackling or trying to stop somebody from leaving, or running out into the parking lot to try to grab the merch out of their hands that they just ripped off with the alarms going off.
So there's a store, the store Ross Dress for Less, or all over. Okay. And I put that in the same genre as like this Burlington Coat Factory store.
Right.
And
did you know that Burlington Coat Factory is more than just coats?
Get out of here.
Burlington Coat Factory, we're more than great coats.
We've got bulletproof vests too.
So Ross has like a loss prevention person kind of wandering around the front to make their visibility known.
Well, you also have walkers. A lot of stores have walkers where
Yeah.
they just look like regular shoppers that are just walking through the store. They're called walkers.
Is that right?
and
They're not the ones from The Walking Dead.
It's not.
Put that coat down now. I mean, you said walkers.
Andrew, did you just get Michelle on camera?
I have never been
Oh,
more
you missed
entertained.
Michelle.
I have never been more entertained.
Put Michelle's camera back.
Chloe
Michelle,
and I do good
all right,
zombies.
all right, do that again on camera. Go ahead.
I don't know if I can do it
again. Come on, do it again.
Give me that coat.
Oh my God. You have.
That is the most distorted face I've ever seen from you in 37 years of knowing you.
Meech, that is the hottest you've ever been. That was something. Oh, man.
Oh, my
Wow.
God.
I don't even feel right talking to MJ.
That's
after
going to
seeing
haunt
that.
me. I don't know if I can have a relationship with you anymore. That's all I'm going to see from now on.
That's what you're going to ask me to do every time.
You wish you could see that.
Oh, you know what? I've
Hey,
got
Michelle, do the zombie.
Hey,
Oh.
Andrew, grab me a frame grab of that and email that to me, would you please?
Oh, great.
Yeah, I got to post that on my Instagram.
But you walk into these stores, these discount stores. How do I feel as a shopper being not protected with a bulletproof vest looking at this night? I mean, it gave me such a bad feeling about being
Hey,
there.
speaking of Burlington, and look, I've got nothing against Burlington.
No, me neither.
I've been in Burlington maybe once.
Okay.
Didn't you, when the kids were first born, and when we were living over off of Himes near the YMCA, our first house before we moved to Beach Park, didn't you try to get some baby stuff at Burlington in Britton Plaza?
Yeah.
I did all the time.
They have a large baby section. They have coats. They have a lot of clothing, a lot of toys.
Do they sell baby coats?
Yes.
They do.
Okay. But you know what? They're more
than just coats. All right. So I might have been in that location twice, but a friend of ours who was in federal law enforcement, what did they tell you recently about the Burlington at Britton Plaza?
I don't want to say it because it's just going to encourage people, but
just
they don't. They don't even do loss prevention. I mean, people are just running out of there with stuff all the time.
So we know a retired FBI agent who is local FBI, friend of ours, and Michelle was out to lunch recently, and she told you that the Burlington at Britton Plaza, people just grab handfuls and just run out of the store.
Just run. And there's just nothing. There's no prevention.
Jesus.
Nothing's happening. I mean, I don't understand that. But Fester, to your point, should we be issued the bulletproof vest as we walk into the store like a shopping cart?
Yeah,
and then, or do we all just need to go get our own?
Or maybe it should be like Aldi, where you leave a quarter and they give you a vest. I mean, I felt so uncomfortable walking in this store, and it's a clean store. It's well lit. You know, there were people around.
Yeah.
The young lady who rang me out, she was very friendly, and I go, hey, quick question. The bulletproof vest. that's a bit much, right? And she's like, I thought the same thing when I started working. I've been here 4 months and I don't get it. But
Oh no.
I mean, that's the job. Wear a bulletproof vest and stand here like a target.
Yeah.
Go down to Hobby Lobby, get a job there. Bulletproof vest.
He should also have a helmet.
Right.
I mean,
no weapons on this kid.
He should have a riot shield.
Yes.
And like a pepper spray cannon.
Yes.
Something.
And a baton.
Who at Burlington says, all right, let's make him look like he's really tough, but it's
maybe he has a grenade in his pocket.
Yeah. He's got IEDs planted throughout the store.
Dude, just crazy.
9:15 at the MJ Morning Show. So I mentioned Dolly Parton a little while ago. Hey, give me some 9 to 5, will you, Andrew? When we talk about Dolly Parton, we got to play some, Dolly Parton music. Maybe a Kenny Rogers duet or something.
Ooh, Islands in the Stream.
Yeah.
I love that
Hey,
song.
what do you call Dolly Parton in a tub?
What do you call Dolly Parton in the tub?
Islands in the Stream.
My
That was a joke.
God.
That was a joke.
So you're telling me that Dolly Parton has products everywhere? I haven't seen anything.
All right, so Dolly Parton recently, and this is like in the last year, has taken over the cake aisle, like the boxed cake mix.
Yeah.
Like either Duncan Hines or I think it's Duncan Hines. They have a Dolly branded
Oh,
vanilla
so
cake, chocolate cake, icing, and it's like pink boxes with like a
Okay.
caricature of her face
All right.
on it. And then
But you think it's a major brand that's now hawking a Dolly Parton cake mix.
Dolly, I'll type it up. Dolly
All
Parton,
right.
but it's like it's co-branded with Dolly and a different company. But she has her own frosting line. I saw her in the frozen dessert.
You know
aisle.
what she needs to? She needs to get her own boob implant line.
Yeah, here's the boxes of it.
Is it Duncan Hines?
I think Duncan
it
Hines,
is.
Dolly
Yeah.
Parton, is cinnamon swirl
Yeah, it's
cake.
Duncan Hines, Dolly Parton cinnamon swirl cake mix, 20 ounces.
But they have a bunch of different. His Dolly Parton blueberry muffins.
Wow, look at that. You know what? I don't spend much time on the cake aisle.
Yeah, I mean, I live on the cake aisle.
The cake mix aisle.
Yeah, the baked goods aisle is probably my 5th favorite part of the grocery store.
The whole food pyramid for Fester is just the cake products.
That's the bottom tier where
That's
you're supposed
it.
to eat the most. But yeah, Dolly, and then I saw Dolly products, the pink box that really stands out in the freezer section.
Well, guess what?
Like Dolly Parton cobbler or something.
Well, other than, I guess, Dolly Parton frozen cakes or whatever, guess what? Dolly Parton is launching a frozen food line now.
Okay.
Holy crap.
Yeah, this is what I saw. I saw the Dolly Parton chocolate decadent chocolate pie, and then it was next to the whipped cheesecake pie. And I guess Duncan Hines is behind this as
All right.
well. It's the same.
Well,
Why didn't you buy one and bring it in for us to try?
Well,
you want to have a Dolly Parton taste test tomorrow?
Yes, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Dolly Parton is now launching a frozen food line in partnership with ConAgra, which is a big, food manufacturer. The menu, the recipes: shrimp and grits, chicken and dumplings, country fried steak.
Oh, these are meals. I haven't seen
Oh,
that
yes.
yet.
Yeah,
Oh,
yes. Dolly Parton is launching a line of like Southern comfort food items with ConAgra. Shrimp and grits, chicken and dumplings, country fried steak, beef pot roast. The food line is going to be sold at major grocery stores across the country, including Walmart and Target. You know what this?
when was the last time you looked around? And I want you to do this next time you have a minute on your hand. Yeah. The Walmart freezer case of frozen meals.
Oh, he's never even gone down that aisle.
You want to see? You want a fascinating 15 minutes? Walk through the frozen aisle of prepackaged like Stouffer meals in the Walmart section.
Okay.
They have so many co-branded meals. They
Like,
have,
what other,
they
like,
have like
big-
a Chef Ramsay
Okay.
meal.
Boo, I wouldn't buy anything of his. But what else?
But the thing is,
I want to buy an idiot sandwich. Is there a frozen idiot sandwich from Gordon Ramsay in the freezer case?
It's just two pieces of bread.
Did they-
and you use your own head?
Did they
just add head? Is what it says. That's 2 pieces of bread.
Is that it?
Did they co-brand the Stouffer's French bread pizza?
What?
I can't even get past what he just said.
What are you saying? Hold on. Well, Michelle, what are you
Okay.
laughing at?
She's laughing at my idiot sandwich. You said idiot sandwich. I said it's 2 pieces of bread. Just add head.
Right.
And Michelle's.
Right.
Michelle's apparently she's a juvenile over here.
I am. Did they co-brand the Stouffer's French bread pizza? You know, it comes.
All these products. I mean, you got to think they're processed in these big facilities. I mean, Gordon Ramsay's not sitting there making the pizza or making.
How do you know?
Yeah.
How do you know he's not making his own idiot sandwiches in his garage?
Just 2 pieces of bread that have their own head.
I'm sorry. I don't find myself in the Walmart frozen pre-prepared meal section
walk
much.
through it. Walk down it. Walk down it one time. Look at all the brands
All
that.
right.
The only draw to them is that it has a celebrity face on it.
But you know what? I'm relieved now because you know what one of Chloe's favorite things is?
Jeffrey Dahmer dumplings.
No.
Delicious.
What?
She likes beef pot roast.
She does?
Yeah, remember when they went to my mom's during COVID? My mom would buy it like from Walmart or something. Not this one. She would buy like some Walmart creation, and that's where the kids were introduced to it. And Chloe's always begging me to make it, and I know you hate it, and you will not let me make it. But now, when she goes to law school, I'm going to say, look, you can go get Dolly Parton's beef pot roast.
Dolly approved.
Yeah.
I don't want. First of all, I don't want beef that is like totally like extra well done and cooked all the way through. Like, for instance, I surprised the kids. I went shopping at Costco on Sunday. So I went to Costco, and believe it or not, I've never purchased meat at Costco.
Costco is like the number one meat seller in the nation.
It is. They're also, I think, the number one wine seller. I think Costco,
I heard that too.
They sell among the most amount of wine in the whole country as well. So I go to Costco. I needed to pick up, a couple of things, some staples that Costco has that I like. And I happened to walk through the meat section, and I saw a package of 3. A lot of times I don't buy meat at Costco because sometimes it's like 4 steaks in a package. You can't get just 1 or 2. You got to buy 4 whole steaks. Anyway, I found a package of USDA Prime.
All right.
So Costco does, I knew this. Costco sometimes has Prime, the top rung, USDA Prime, not Choice, USDA Prime. And they had some ribeyes, like almost 2-inch thick ribeyes. They had 3 in a package. I'm like, all right, Michelle's not going to eat it, but 1 for me, 1 for Chloe, 1 for Julian. And this was not cheap. It was $89 it was like 4 pounds of ribeye, though. So it was, 20 something bucks a pound, whatever it was. It was like 4.5 pounds. It was like $89, whatever that works out to be. And these were well marbled, good. And I cooked them on Monday night. So Memorial Day night, I cooked them. And Chloe's like, oh, my God, this is like, as good as anything I've had in a restaurant. And, I cooked them the right way. I didn't do them on a grill. I pan-seared them in a carbon steel pan, a high smoke point oil. I pan-seared, got a nice crisp and char, about 3-4 minutes aside. And then I throw, the whole carbon steel pan into the oven at 425. And then a little later on, add some butter, add, obviously salt and pepper is all I use to season. And I cook them to medium rare perfection. In fact, I think it's disappeared, but Chloe had me post it as one of my Instagram stories. I don't do a lot of stories. I do mostly postings and videos and reels. But the kids are like, you got to do more stories, Dad. But they disappear like in 24 hours. I want to have an archive. Anyway, the steaks were phenomenal. So it was medium rare as the point fester. I don't want some pot roast that is,
but a pot roast
like a chocolate bar through and through.
Yeah, but isn't like a pot roast just like a wickedly tough piece of meat anyway that has to be wet cooked and slow crock potted over a long time?
Yes.
Yeah, I'm not a fan of that either. But
final chunk of the MJ Morning Show is coming up. I got celebrity stuff. We've got the latest on the Diddy trial. That Cassie Ventura went into labor yesterday. So hold on. We got a lot of stuff in the final segment. I haven't even scratched the surface. Coming up next on the MJ Morning Show. Hey, what's the latest with Allison and Kemp Law Group? Is there anything new that's developed since our commercial yesterday?
Since our commercial yesterday. Actually, we did get the vehicle back yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
And the Tesla body shop did a fantastic job.
What was the total bill? Did you see it?
The total bill, I think, was a couple of dollars over $7,000.
Wow.
And the other insurance company, Uber Insurance, covered it. They covered all of it.
So it was already paid for?
Already paid for. We just showed up, dropped off that little shoebox of a rental, and took off with our car.
Yeah.
But it looks all but new. I mean, it looks brand new.
So for those that don't know, Allison Fester's wife, she was rear-ended by an Uber in downtown Tampa, did over $7,000 worth of damage to the car. And, of course, there's millions in damage to her neck and back.
Maybe billions.
Could be billions.
Yeah.
Could be the first $1 trillion claim.
Yes.
For personal injury.
That's true.
No, seriously, she was jarred up and jammed up good. And, she's visited a doctor, and the Kemp Law Group's handling the claim.
But they handle everything.
Yeah.
It's literally, they take the pressure and the burden off of you navigating this thing you know nothing about. They handle everything. It's amazing.
So, listen, Kemp Law Group is a big sponsor here on the MJ Morning Show. They're the studio sponsor on Q105. You don't pay a dime until they recover for you. Accident or fall, you call Kemp Law, kemplaw.com, and tell them that MJ sent you. The Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors are ready to take your call right now. All right, don't procrastinate. The last thing you want is to say, oh, yeah, I keep hearing from MJ that I call the Kemp Law Group, get a second opinion, or Holland Group, rather. Call the Holland Group, get a second opinion on my investment strategy, on my full retirement plan. And if you procrastinate, you're going to get to the point of retirement, and it's going to be too late. if you're in your mid to late 40s, into your 50s, if you're a couple of years away from retirement, if you are actually retired now, what can be done better? Let the Hollands put you on track. The Holland Group Retirement Wealth Advisors, an advisory fiduciary firm. They've been around since 1993, over 30 years. They will build you an investment plan and a full retirement plan, complimentary, no obligation, no cost to you. Call up, ask any questions you have. Get a second opinion. Make sure you're not making a big mistake. Make sure you have a tax strategy. It is essential. The Holland Group will do it all for you. Go to askthehollands.com, askthehollands.com. Don't make a mistake that's costly and say years down the road, oh, I should have listened to MJ. Call the Hollands, get a review, askthehollands.com. Traffic's on 927. MJ Morning Show back in just a minute.
Traffic slow in St. Pete this morning.
Hey, I'm chewing. I just had a snack. I thought I had a little more time before we came back.
I mean, I can schedule a song here if you want.
Yeah.
That's all right.
Who said it was snack time?
I mean, if you want, I can have Andrew play "I Love Rock and Roll" by Joan Jett and Blackhearts. It's next.
I guess it is, huh?
We can play that.
Yeah. Oh, man, she was fantastic.
Yeah, you just saw her.
Yeah, she was great, along with Billy Idol at the amphitheater a couple of weeks back. She looks great, sounds great, fantastic. Stand by the record machine. All right.
Finish eating. We'll play the song.
No, I was eating Belvita crunchy blueberry breakfast wafers, and they're very they're crunchy, and they leave a lot of particles in your mouth.
Yeah.
There's a lot of debris left over. You have to have a drink on hot standby.
These are good.
Yeah.
You know what I think of when I hear that first line to that song?
What?
Our first meeting.
What do you mean?
I saw you standing there dancing by the record machine.
I did meet you at a club.
Well,
I did.
You're so hot.
I just took another bite, and it's going to take a half an hour for me to get all the parts out of my mouth.
It's a tea biscuit. You have to dip it in the tea.
Oh,
Is that what you have to do?
No, I like it fully crunchy. All right, listen to this, and this is a problem. I've got celebrity stuff. I'll get to some celebrity stuff in just a minute. This is a major, major problem. I saw this post. Where did I find this? I think it was Reddit. This guy, Ben, and this is a problem. This guy, Ben, writes, Christ, period. Just came downstairs to find my dad watching an entirely AI-generated YouTube video about an event that didn't happen involving the Pope. Had to convince my dad the whole thing was fake. How can you tell, he asked. He has 5 degrees, including a PhD. And here's this guy, Ben's, got to tell his dad that you're watching a phony AI-generated video about the Pope.
So I'm going to say something that's going to sound really ignorant.
Okay.
But this AI is getting out of control.
It is. No.
It really
Right,
is.
listen,
Yeah.
the whole AI thing, I don't get this. We're hearing how AI, that there have been some spooky issues with AI, where AI stops itself from being turned off, or AI has bitten back at humans. And folks, this is really just the beginning. And we're hearing these horror stories about how there has to be AI. I saw a story in the last 3-4 days that some experts in AI, some experts in the tech field are saying we need to shut things down now and take a 6-month pause, that all AI needs to be paused for at least 6 months while we try to figure out how to manage it, regulate it, how to make sure there's an off-ramp, a kill switch. Because now they're talking about AI is going to stop. If humans decide that, oh, my God, the AI is out of control, that AI is going to get to a point where AI is going to, have the humans eliminated. So, this is like Terminator crap.
No.
What?
You know what that's just like?
What?
Mission Impossible 7 and 8.
Yes.
Oh, well,
that's literally the premise of it, MJ.
The entity.
Yes.
No, but seriously, think about this for a moment with AI, with artificial intelligence, that we humans are creating something that we've been warned could destroy us? What the hell are we doing?
Here, look at this AI, MJ,
Yeah.
from the Diddy trial.
Yeah.
All right? And I saw this yesterday on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've been watching it.
And it was, but look at these images.
Yeah.
Just, that's Diddy, and that's one of
Cassie Ventura.
There he's laughing with his lawyer. It's like watching a television show.
Some of the AI videos. Well, listen, this dude, Ben, comes downstairs and he's like, his dad is watching an AI-generated YouTube video about the Pope, and he's got to tell his Dad, with 5 degrees and a PhD, Dad, that's phony. It's AI. It's not real. It didn't happen.
What was the premise for the Pope?
It doesn't say.
Oh.
Yeah,
he wasn't advanced?
He just says, Christ, just came downstairs and my dad's watching an entirely AI-generated YouTube video about an event that didn't happen. I don't know, something with the Pope. I'm sure we could maybe speculate. I don't know. But, man, it's just dangerous. And the AI-generated stuff that is popping up on, TikTok and Reels on Instagram, it's phony stuff, and people are commenting, and it's like, listen, it's AI, it's phony. It's not real. It's some scary, scary stuff. All right, some celebrity stuff. From the Diddy trial yesterday, I did see that Cassie Ventura went into labor, and she was taken to the hospital. Do we know if she had the baby? Fester, can you look up Cassie Ventura? She went into labor yesterday. Did she deliver? You know, of course, Cassie Ventura, one of the star witnesses in the Diddy trial. So yesterday seemed kind of light. There were not like any major revelations yesterday.
Right now, we're just having a lot of witnesses come in and sort of corroborate or bolster Cassie's testimony.
Okay.
And so we did have another assistant came in, another former Diddy assistant named
Capricorn something?
Yeah, Capricorn Clark.
Capricorn 1.
Okay. Who once reportedly referred to Diddy as the devil.
Yeah. I saw a headline, P Devil.
Yeah.
Instead of P Diddy.
And so this assistant used to do the same thing the others did, where they would, help facilitate the freak-offs with either the packing or the unpacking, going into the hotel rooms. So they helped unpack the bags, which always had clothes, cameras, baby oil, personal lubricant, and drugs. So they're just like corroborating all of that. But they did say that the one time, or that they did observe in the rooms, so much baby oil that the room was left covered in baby oil.
Yeah.
And that it was just everywhere, that there were handprints of baby oil
in the fabric
on the ultra suede wall.
Yeah. So there was like a nice ultra suede wall, like an expensive wall covering. And clearly they had so much baby oil and lube or whatever, they were leaving handprints and just staining the crap out of that stuff. That's not coming out.
No. I mean, they specifically cited the wall as a place where the baby oil was, but they said it wasn't just necessarily on the wall.
Everywhere.
I mean, I can't even imagine what that cleanup is like. That's just so...
Well, remember, we had a story last week that when Diddy would get certain hotel rooms, they would take the rooms out of service.
Yeah.
After he finished with the hotel room, they would block the room from being reassigned while they did a deep clean and replace crap.
I mean, I would think some things would have to be a complete remodel, and that would be months.
We got to gut it.
So this particular...
Got to get a flamethrower to torch the room after Diddy's in there.
Is baby oil flammable?
Oh, yeah. I think so.
Is it? I don't know.
It's oil.
Look it up, Fester. Is baby oil flammable? This assistant also was the one who was thought to have maybe stolen some diamond jewelry from Diddy.
Oh, yeah.
And so she claims that she was taken by his bodyguard, Uncle Paulie Offord.
Uncle Paulie?
Yeah, Uncle Paulie came to her home, forced her to go with him to an abandoned skyscraper at 1710 Broadway.
My God, this is like a Mission Impossible movie or something.
Looking for a diamond necklace, bracelet, and watch that were missing. And they gave her a bunch of lie detector tests. And then he said, if you fail this test, they're going to throw you in the East River.
Wait, so Diddy's security team walks around with their own polygraph?
She underwent 5 days of lie detector tests before she was finally allowed to return to work.
What the hell?
I mean, so again, that kind of control over everybody in his circle, that's how he was controlling them. If you don't do what I say, I'm going to kill you.
And she didn't take the jewelry.
No,
hey,
I guess she didn't.
You want to hear a funny story? There's a radio guy locally that some people might know by the name of Neil Ardman. And believe it or not, I worked for Neil Ardman when I was like 16 years old.
Is he on the air locally?
One of the first, no. He owns a couple of, he's an independent operator. He owns a couple of stations
it's not
locally.
Like there's the Neil Ardman show that I'm missing out on.
No. So Neil was a program director at a little station in Virginia Beach when I was 16 years old in 1982. And it was called WVAB, 1550 Super Hits, WVAB. And it was a little radio station, daytime AM station above a deli called the Jewish Mother. Famous Virginia Beach deli called the Jewish Mother. And the radio station was up on top. And I remember a story where he had a gold Rolex that he got from a local jeweler. And I guess it was a trade deal. They had commercials. Yeah. He ended up with a gold Rolex, and his watch went missing. And he thought it was stolen. He was accusing friends and I think his wife at the time. Where's my gold Rolex? And anyway, it fell behind the dresser.
Oh no!
And they found it like months later or something. I just remember that. So when you bring up Cassie and the missing jewelry.
Not Cassie.
Or
Capricorn.
Capricorn,
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry. So did they ever figure out who took the jewelry or no?
It wasn't in the reports that I saw.
Anything else?
Nope, that's it.
Did Cassie drop the kid?
Not as far as I'm looking at it right now. It just says that she was rushed to a New York City hospital and was in labor.
Wait a minute.
About to deliver her third baby.
Hold on a minute. So would they know? 1:41 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So this would have been 4. 4:41 our time yesterday afternoon. TMZ published this. Our sources tell us that Cassie was rushed to a New York hospital Tuesday, and she's in the labor and delivery unit.
Mm-hmm.
I would imagine she probably had the kid, right?
Well, look at TMZ. Another source tells us that Cassie may be having complications.
I
mean, she had 4 days of very stressful testimony a week and a half ago.
Oh, yeah, that'd be terrible if something happened to the pregnancy and the delivery, but very stressful environment.
Mm-hmm.
So, no word on an actual delivery yet, but she was last reported there yesterday.
Does anybody care what the timeline is for Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce getting engaged?
Let's hope it's soon.
Why's that?
I don't know. They can start popping out kids.
Yeah. I mean, listen,
get on with their happy end of, being celebrity entertainers and whatever.
You just want Taylor Swift to lose her figure.
No, just move on with your life and be have a normal, to the extent that you can, right? Like have a normal relationship that progresses to, if they want to have kids. I'm just assuming that they would.
Yeah,
so
spitting out children.
How are those Swifties going to react if Taylor Swift has this giant freaking basketball-sized baby bump?
They're gonna love her. What are you crazy? Yeah. Like, oh my God, look at this woman. She's hideous. She has with a child.
You know what they're gonna do?
This is the best news ever for the Swifties. This is the evolution.
The Swifties are all gonna go get pregnant.
That's right.
Well,
we can expect a
12-year-olds
a baby surge.
Yeah, I think yes.
You are totally misrepresenting a Swiftie. You're saying a 12-year-old.
No,
Taylor Swift has been famous for 20 years.
Yep.
Her fans who were
I know there are plenty of 35-year-old Swifties.
12 when they're 32 now.
Yeah, they're 32 to 55.
I mean, you are really misrepresenting her fans.
I apologize then. All right, here's the deal. Insiders claim that Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce are going to be engaged once he's done playing football. Now, remember, last season, it was speculated that was going to be Travis Kelce's last season with the Kansas City Chiefs.
He was almost done after the Super Bowl,
and
right?
then he announced that he is coming back. So will this be one more season?
One more year. Let's go.
One more season.
Get the band back together. Let's try it one more time.
And, after losing to the Eagles, and, we'll see.
And you know what? Yeah. She won't be on tour this time, so she'll be able to go to almost all the games.
Yes.
We'll see more of her during NFL, Sunday.
Yeah.
The source also said that Taylor Swift's parents, Scott and Andrea.
Yeah.
Doesn't the father of a condo? Taylor Swift's father has like an expensive penthouse condo in downtown St. Pete.
I've always heard that. He's yet to invite me over.
Yeah. And I guess they're looking forward to Travis Kelce proposing.
Good.
Can we get we need Taylor Swift's father to call in right now. All right, 800-990-1047. Taylor Swift's father, if you're in the penthouse in downtown St. Pete right now, if you're listening, call us up right now. Can you confirm or deny that you're looking forward to her getting engaged to Travis Kelce? 800-990-1047. 800-990-1047. I fully expect Taylor Swift's father and money manager. Is he still the money manager?
Yeah, he's her money manager.
Yeah. Expect him to be on the phone here momentarily. And we will see. Miley Cyrus. She reveals that she has a medical condition which is behind the raspy voice that's become her trademark.
What do you mean? I'm Miley Cyrus.
I had a pretty traumatic experience on a show that I was doing with Lauren on New Year's. Yeah. When I was doing my New Year's show, it was Dolly and Lauren, who, there's no getting out of doing a show with
All right,
those
so a little Miley Cyrus here.
I have this very large, polyp on my vocal cord, which is giving me a lot of the tone and the texture that has made me who I am, but it's extremely difficult to perform with because it's like running a marathon with ankle weights on. I had the Reiki's edema, which is something that is called, it's abuse of the vocal cords. And, being 21 and staying up and drinking and smoking and partying after every show does not help. But also in my case, it does not cause it. So my voice always sounded like this.
So she has a large polyp on her vocal cords and she was asked, are you going to have it treated? You're going to have the polyp removed? And she said, absolutely not, because
that's her moneymaker right
it's
there.
her trademark.
That's how her full song sound.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But, she doesn't have as much of the rasp when she sings, like hopping off the plane at LAX.
I'm on the plane at LAX with my dream and it's cardigan.
Yes.
I'm feeling sex. Never gonna fit in. Yes. Gonna fit for the first time. Yes. There's a Hollywood signs. This is all so crazy.
She sounds like crap.
I'm feeling all set.
Hold on. What song was playing on the radio?
Jay-Z. Jay-Z song.
The Jay-Z song was on. Jay-Z song was on.
Yes.
The
All
cat was
righty.
playing 99 Problems.
Fester, how do you even know the lyrics to that?
Oh, I know. I'm a fan.
I mean, what are you doing? Some secret
So,
karaoke or something?
I'm a fan. So at the house, here's the thing. At the house, we have to, we play music often.
Yeah.
And we have the Alexa device, which we say, but we have to say, Alexa, play.
I don't know why you have that spy bitch in your house.
Because I'm into voyeur play. I mean,
Alexa's worse than Chinese surveillance.
So, but we have the Alexa, but you have to say, you have to call the device's name, and then you say, play 2000s pop clean, and then it'll weed out all the nasty, or not nasty, but profanity.
Yeah.
Okay. But this song is like a staple.
Okay.
Of 2000s pop clean.
Wow.
And it says, here's a station you'll like. 2000 pop.
Yes. Guess what time it is right now? Time for us to shut things down.
Oh.
Yes, here on the Miley Cyrus Show.
All right. See you later.
All right, we got to roll. Oh, one last thing. Jennifer Grey, famous for Dirty Dancing and, of course, getting that nose job
And nothing else.
completely effing up her entire career.
What's she have
Because
to
she
say?
became unrecognizable. No, something of Jennifer Grey's is up for auction.
Unless it's her original nose, I don't care.
The famous Dirty Dancing dance briefs. So when she was dancing and the skirt was twirling around, the briefs underneath are up for auction. I got to be honest.
Yeah.
If anything of Jennifer Grey's was up for auction,
Yeah.
I want like the cartilage and the skin and
I knew you were gonna say
and the nose parts from the nose job.
I mean, they got to be somewhere,
in
right?
like a jar of preservative.
Yeah.
That's what I want.
Okay, so just to put the two stories together, I was going to mention this before, but now you brought up a nose issue with Jennifer Grey.
Right.
Barbara Streisand also refused. She was going to get a nose job.
Yep.
This is what I heard.
Yep.
And they told her, same thing what Fester said, we can do the nose job and you'll be beautiful, but your voice might change. And so she said, no, thank you.
Really? For her big nose? Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Jennifer Grey's, her famous Dirty Dancing panties are up for auction. Something that I'm sure many people want to add to the collection. What are you playing?
I don't know. Something played.
Yeah, you're playing something. I don't know what you're doing over
I
there.
don't know. My computer pot was up.
All right, just stop touching the computer in the final seconds of the show. Just get your hands off the freaking computer.
Something else. Keep that out.
All right.
Yeah.
All right, we got to go. All right, folks, have a great day. We'll see you back here tomorrow on the MJ Morning Show on Q105. My email is mj@mjmorningshow.com if you need to get a hold of me. And, of course, follow me on Instagram, Certified MJ Radio. Have a great day, and let's be careful out there.
Hear the latest MJ Morning Show podcast on the Q105 app, powered by Anna Jar and Levine Accident Attorneys. Call 1-800-747